Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Yeehaw Lads podcast, episode number 23. This week, Andy's out playing hooky. We got Nick back in studio, and I want to kick it off with an honorable mention. Nick is one of the first people that I've met in recent time who still listens to Creed, and they're fucking back.
Yep.
Creed announced their new tour of 99 this last week, and it is going everywhere, and a lot of people seem real excited about it. I thought Creed was back. It was just a meme. Turns out it's actually back.
No,
I am shocked.
It's fucking real.
They're doing like hundreds of cities and stuff. It's
Really?
a crazy big tour.
If you see the listening history of monthly listeners on their Spotify, they have gone up.
Really?
It's got to go.
Yes.
It's have to go straight up.
Yeah,
through
it
the
started
roof.
off
It's
as a
nuts.
meme, but then you see a lot of serious comments on Reddit. Where it's just they weren't that bad.
I mean, they weren't Nickelback, God forbid. But
No.
Do they have their tour schedule posted?
They do.
they
Yeah,
do.
it
You could buy tickets right
went
now.
live. Was it Monday? I think.
How much
sometime
are
this week?
tickets?
It depends where you want to go
I
and where
think-
you want to sit.
I think tickets got announced or getting announced Friday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Is there anywhere near us?
Tinley Park.
Tinley Park.
Tinley Park in
Okay.
Milwaukee. I'm probably going to the Milwaukee date.
So you're actually going to this?
I plan to. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my buddy in Racine said, do you want to go? And I'm like, well, it depends who's opening. So then he told me who's opening. It's Three Doors Down.
And Daughtry is
yeah.
is most of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
600 tickets.
you know what? Fuck it. I'd see three of them. That's what I listened to growing up.
Right. Let me scroll to the bottom real quick.
Yeah. So what's the most?
And I'm not familiar with
expensive
this
ticket?
venue in Tinley Park anyway, too.
So Tinley Park for pit tickets is about $600-700, depending on where you want to be. If you want to be way up
6 to
front,
7.
that's for the very front. So 626 will get you
Oh, 600.
rows 1 through 6. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. That's if you want to be up against the stage, in the shit of it. But
Not really.
I think a normal ticket's realistically
Yeah,
a fair price.
Yeah, let's do the back of
Let's see.
103.
Like $150
Okay, it's
for,
not
That's
horrible.
for
about
back,
the most I'd pay.
for mid, upper deck seats.
Yeah.
It's not overly priced, but they have a pretty a big tour planned. They're going a lot of places.
Yes.
Good for them.
I just I have a weird fantasy where nobody shows up and they're just oh no, it was a meme, and they just give up. I know that'd be terrible, but
Well, usually, don't they sign contracts for all the places that they're going? I mean, logistically, can you just get 2 concerts in and go, wow, fuck this, we quit?
not really.
There's insurance and everything involved. No. Spirit Box had a really good discussion about this on, I forgot what podcast it was, but in 2020 when they were first starting to get traction, they were on tour out in Europe with Make Them Suffer and After the Burial, and it was after their 3rd or 4th show was when their government over there, we were last, we were one of the last ones to shut down. It was over in Europe where they did it first, and they're oh fuck.
Yeah, they tightened down way before we did.
So yeah, they went down to Canada. So then they got back home to Canada. It's well, do you want to plan a tour for Canada? And right when they were about to get contracts signed and everything, then Canada said yeah, we're doing the same thing Europe's doing.
Fuck.
And I think I forgot what it was. Normally in a case like that, you would kind of get fucked over and you would lose a lot of money.
Right.
Oh,
But
yeah.
this somehow, I forgot what it fell under, but insurance covered it.
Since it was an emergency ordinance
Yeah,
thing.
Yes.
like an act of God type thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what it fell under. Yeah, but they were fine.
Yeah, because it was, I want to say late April. Andy and I had tickets to go to Wisconsin and see Tyler Childers and Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's had the tickets bought. It was a ticket package with the ticket, the hotel room, and a VIP little package thing. I'm hell yeah, let's do this.
Fucking nice.
Had them already paid and everything. And they're oh, hey, we're canceling everything. And I'm damn it.
Did you at least get a refund?
Oh, yeah, we got the money
Okay,
back.
good.
Oh yeah.
But it's and then shortly after that, Sturgill Simpson tore his voice box. So that was unfortunate.
I was supposed to see, Caitlin and I, we were supposed to see Parkway Drive with Knocked Loose, and I think the third band was Stick to Your Guns, and that got canceled. Well, no, it got rescheduled, and then it got rescheduled again the week before they were supposed to go out, and then they canceled it.
Yeah.
COVID was over and everything, and they canceled it.
Well, it depends who you ask if it was over. Some people don't think it's over still, but
Well, no, I bought these tickets January 2020. And then it got rescheduled to 21.
Mm-hmm.
And then when things were looking great, and then we like shut back down again.
Yeah, it was the surge.
Rescheduled then to late 2022, like October.
Mm-hmm. And by
And,
time,
and then it canceled again.
yeah, by the time it does all that, you're like, fuck it, we'll just not do this. 'Cause the one that I was gonna see got rescheduled to like a Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I want to see him, but I'm not. I paid for Saturday night tickets or whatever. Like, I'm not taking off in the middle of the week to drive to Wisconsin on a Tuesday.
Exactly.
No.
I'm like, yeah, I get it. You're trying to make it up and you have to cram space,
But nah, fuck
it's
that.
not fair to the people who paid that.
Yeah.
You know?
I just concluded that if I ever try to see Knocked Loose, it's just bad luck because the 3 times I've tried to see him, it gets canceled.
It's just not possible.
The
for
first
you.
time was Open Air Festival. It was going to be them, Code Orange, and Beartooth. Those 3 bands were gonna open. Beartooth were able to play the last half of their set. They played like 2 songs
Oh my god.
because it got rained out.
And that's-
Well, I shouldn't say rained out. Like it was fucking thunderstorming.
it was
Mm.
going
And the
to storm,
outside.
and everyone knew it was going to storm, and they just kind of let it happen
But
anyway.
then,
And-
later that night, it was right before. It was a big festival. It was right before System of a Down was gonna go live.
Mhm.
Code Orange and Knocked Loose posted on their Facebook page like last minute show at the Metro in Chicago. Like you have to get tickets right fucking now if you want to see us.
That's
it's like,
right,
well, we're
yeah.
not going to be able to go from Schaumburg to Chicago
Yeah, no.
in 30 minutes, and the
And
show
beat-
got sold out immediately.
Yeah, and beat anybody there.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about that. It
Yeah.
was like immediately it was like, oh hey, everyone's coming here right now.
Oh, and they oversold.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like there was, I forgot what page it was, but there was a page. It was people fucking on top of each other. Some people on the stage.
Oh my god,
Just watching Knocked Loose play.
just cramming as many.
Like
people
they
in there.
oversold. Yeah.
Jeez.
And like that, and like you saw, it's just like, oh man, that seems like fun for a last minute show. But then at the same time, it's like people in hardcore don't shower.
Yeah,
Like that reeks like
it's
shit.
vintage leather. That means it hasn't been washed ever. It's just been fucking ground on the dirty floor of a bar room.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Love the music. I hate the fuck.
Hate the,
I hate the
people.
culture.
hate the scene essentially.
Yeah, I hate the scene, but I love the
Right.
music
Yeah,
pretty
if-
much.
If there's
can't-
anybody I'd want to see crowded, it's not Knocked Loose. That would be brutal.
I can't even remember the last fucking concert I went to.
think
Mine-
my
Probably
last-
FFA.
I think my last one
Damn.
was Childers. Well,
I think I
was-
would enjoy going to see
it was
him.
Childers and Whitey Morgan in Peoria. Great
Ooh.
show, but that was the last
Mine-
one I had seen. That was one of the Tailgating Tall Boys or something.
Mm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was a good show. That was
Mine-
back before Tyler was sober. His eyes were fucking wild.
Yeah,
Holy-
yeah.
Holy fuck.
He got
was,
sober recently, wasn't he?
It was a little bit after that show. That was
I
one
was
of
gonna
his
say,
last
he's been
shows.
sober for what,
A
like
couple years now.
I was
probably
gonna say a
3
year or
years.
two.
Yeah,
for
more
him.
than that. But I mean, that was 2019 when I
Oh,
saw him.
yeah.
Probably, maybe, yeah, it would have been 19.
Good for him.
It's like his eyes were huge that whole show. Like he was death staring like the middle part of the crowd. And I'm like, this guy is zooted. It's fucking
Alcohol
nuts.
eyes.
Christ. Good for that
But
guy.
that was a great show.
What was my last one? Mine was Whitechapel and Atreyu.
That's a decent show.
The Atreyu one was a lot of fun because you voted real time what song to play. It was fans pick the set list.
Okay, that's kind
Wow,
of
It was
kinda neat.
It was fucking fun.
interesting. I mean, crowd interaction always makes a
Yeah.
good
Oh
show,
no.
but
Like to this day, like crowd interaction wise, top of the list.
absolute top notch.
Yeah. And they said like you pick whatever album you want. Like I will be honest, we didn't practice anything before 2004, but if
my
you guys
God.
want to hear it, we'll do our best.
Play the B sides. Give me some garbage.
They did. The very last song they did was some B-side on their like debut EP
Yes.
from '99. They fucking crushed it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like
dope.
I love it when bands are as cool as you hope they are. They're like,
Yes.
hey, fuck it. Let's just do another encore, a second one. Fuck it. We're here. What's the
Yeah.
difference? You know,
yeah.
that's so cool.
That was like the first kind of a concert like that I've ever been to.
that you've been to and you're like, wow, this
Yeah,
was
where you can just
actually-
vote on some site they put on like their screens to vote what song it was.
That's so cool.
It was
Dope.
really cool.
So what was yours? Probably back in high school still? Just one of the random FFA
Yeah,
concerts you
I
got drugged
think.
to?
Yeah.
Yeah. They weren't
'Cause I-
always horrible.
Yours would have been what, indie in fucking 2013 or something? Like, whatever our first year of high school was, 2012 would have been our
2012,
first year.
I think. Yeah.
Man, I don't know who that would have
2012
been.
was our first year. No, because I went my freshman year.
Yeah, which is 2012.
Yeah. And
Yeah. So we
I
got
remember Levi Harms was there, and his Florida Georgia line fucking sucked. fucking sucked. Yeah. I think me and Levi were both sitting there going, "Can this bitch get off the fucking stage,
What
please?"
is FFA now?
Technically, FFA doesn't stand for anything anymore.
Yeah.
But when it was founded, it stood for Future Farmers of America.
It's an agriculture. It's a high school agricultural program.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Marcus and I were both. Well, I was super involved in it because I had nothing better to do.
I was.
You
were super involved.
doing everything.
I was pretty in there.
Better than when I was involved in.
Like I didn't have 3 things at once. I did one thing
No,
at a
not
time.
that.
Yeah. No, that was like I'm in high school and I'm like I got nothing better to do. I'm like, well, fuck it. I guess I'll show up and do some stuff. Whatever. It gave me an excuse to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have a driver's license. I can take Dad's truck. Fuck it. We ball.
Hey, I was
Hey.
pretty decent my last year at Soils. That's about all the props I ever got.
God, I did so many contests. I don't know if I could name them all. I did.
Mhm.
Like I knew I did meats judging, soils, ag issues, ag communication.
Was
Oh,
ag
God,
was
there's so many.
AgCom the presentation one we had to
Yes.
do? I fucking hated.
Do you remember
that
what our
one.
presentation was on?
BT corn.
You know what it stands for? Because I do.
Bacillus thuringiensis.
Perfect. You killed it.
I hope you know what
As
it
a
stands
plant
for.
producer, I am very concerned about. I can still do like the first like 2 sentences
That's
of
so old, but God, I'm glad you
Wow.
remember that.
that. Yeah, I
Like-
hated that.
Oh, it's fine.
It was horrible. It sucked. It was so boring.
When we were on our ag issues team in senior year, we made it. We won state and went
Yeah.
to nationals
Right.
to compete in it. And then because we had 2. Well, no, I was a junior. We had 2 seniors on our team, but they didn't. Jesus Christ!
the
Sorry,
fuck?
wrong
He
button.
doesn't know how to mute him.
I was
Mike.
gonna say,
Holy
whoa.
But there was 2 seniors on our team and they both left to go to college stuff, so we had to get new people to fill
Oh,
in like
shit.
after we'd already won state. It was a disaster, but it was fun getting to do like actual stuff
Mhm.
at because normally you just kind of walk around for 3 days. You're like, yep, here's some stuff, whatever.
Oh, yo, free yo-yos at DuPont?
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
Those were fucking goaded.
We always
Dude.
modified the fuck out of them.
You'd be taking them apart, putting them back
Yeah.
together, trying to make
Mhm.
them faster.
Fuck, remember when we went to Washington, D.C. for a week
Oh,
and had
fuck.
to sleep on a bus?
What a fuck. Well,
Oh.
I don't sleep on road trips. I just don't have to. You fucking passed out.
I fell asleep on the floor in the aisle
Ugh.
of that bus with my steel-toe boots as a
fucking
pillow.
dirty ass city bus, basically.
It was,
or
it's horrible.
cross country bus, but it wasn't very nice.
No.
They're that cheap they couldn't get like hotels or something.
Oh,
Oh no, we
fucking-
did. We had hotels once we got there.
Yeah.
but we had
You
to
just-
get to Washington D.C.
Yeah,
first.
they drove us.
Oh.
Yeah, we left early ass crack in the morning, got there fucking stupid late.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did we do it in essentially one drive? I think we did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we stopped.
Well, yeah, we had
Yeah.
to stop and stuff, but never for long. We would just stop and
No, it was like 20. It was fuel and
I don't know.
to
If, I don't know if
swap.
we
I
ever
think
even,
they changed drivers.
I think so, but I don't know if we ever got off the bus. I think we just like,
We stopped at that one mall for.
Oh, that's
I don't
right.
know fucking where for.
yeah,
a
fuck if
while.
I know wherever that was. That was in the middle of fucking.
And I know
Somewhere
we
in the
stopped
East
at
Coast.
McDonald's for a couple of times, and that was about it.
Yeah, it was pretty
Well-
lackluster.
Did we have sightseeing spots getting into DC,
Mm,
or was that,
That
once
was
we were there?
One of the days when we were there, we hopped back on a bus and did a tour around stuff,
Yeah.
and we did a bunch of walking.
Was
And
that George Washington's like estate or something like that?
we went to George Washington's plantation. We went
Plantation.
to the the something science museum.
We went to the National Aerospace
That's-
Museum. That
National
was
Aerospace
that
and another
was
one.
the one free day that we got that
Yeah.
entire trip. You know what happened that free day? It fucking downpoured the entire day.
It was fucking.
We were
brutal.
soaked. And you know what happens when corduroy gets wet?
It
It
sucks.
sucks and it's
so-
itchy because corduroy is not thick enough to keep out the cold and it's not thin enough to wick away heat.
It
So,
was terrible.
In the summer, you're
Yeah.
sweating your dick off, and in the winter, you're freezing your ass off.
Mhm. Especially with dress pants.
Oh,
Fucking
ooh.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Gross.
Air and Space Museum, Holocaust Museum, we did that too.
Oh.
Smithsonian, we went there.
Hmm.
Man, we did a whole bunch of stuff when we were there.
I think that was the first time me and you ever saw a Tesla in real life.
That was, yeah.
That was
Because that would have been
the-
basically 2012 or 2013.
Yeah, that was Model
When they
S.
first came out.
I still have the picture of it on my phone from that trip, I believe.
Dude, good for you.
Shit.
It's
I saw it.
buried somewhere.
Because I saw it and I'm like, huh. I'm like, I remember that. Yep, there it is. License plate was CO2 free. Because obviously, of course, it was. Yeah, it was a red like 2012 Tesla, one of the first years. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, I looked at it, I'm like, what the? I'm like, that's a Tesla. Like they don't make those.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. We got to see a space shuttle Endeavour,
Cool.
Touch a moon rock?
Moon Rocks, B-52.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
B-52, and then the Super Blackbird.
Oh, an
The
SR-71?
Blackbird's so fucking sick. I love
Mm.
Blackbirds.
God damn.
Blackbirds.
I've been watching a lot of Fat Electricians.
Yeah.
And I'm on like his plane series right now. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. The SR-71 Blackbird is one of the
What an amazing
most
airplane.
interesting planes ever created. Because it is literally...
I would say it is because it leaked like a fucking sieve anytime it was on the ground and cold because it was made out of fucking titanium that expanded so much because it was going so fast.
Because it had to. Because after, so a lot of the parts on it were made out of titanium,
Mm-hmm.
So at speed, which is some incredible speed, I'll see what it actually
2,000
is.
miles an hour.
It's some like Mach 3, some
Yeah.
insane
Or
number.
3.1, I believe, if I'm
See.
correct.
But either way, at max speed, 2,200 miles per hour, Mach 3 plus,
Wow.
yeah. At full speed, the wind resistance was so much, all the panels would swell from the heat being dumped into them from the air resistance. So when they assembled the plane, they would have to assemble it with loose bolts because over time the panels would swell to the point where they got tight. So you would literally be taking off in a plane that leaks and rattles and pops and bangs, and then the faster you went, the tighter it got.
You took off in a shift box, and the faster you went, it turned into
got
like a
nicer, turned into a
an F1 car.
Yeah.
But
And all the parts on it are like titanium and super
which
nicely
is
made.
so sad because when they stopped making those, they destroyed everything, and we can't remake them.
Well, we can't.
we can, but it's very difficult.
They've hired like expert machinists across the country to try to remake these molds because it's so iconic. And it was a spy plane, so they destroyed all the evidence of it, so no one could copy it. Well, it's like
Plus, they had so many techniques for the alloys that they used in the body
yeah.
of that thing that
Right.
like just nobody knows.
yeah, everything on it was such a perfect part that it could never be recreated without original techniques.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool. That's one of my favorite
Yes.
things is like nerding out on planes.
Yeah.
I think there was an F-16 there too. I don't know if I've got.
I don't know. There was tons of stuff there.
There was all sorts of planes. Yeah, that's an F-16. Got the big ass mouth on it. Yeah.
Fuck.
But no, it was super cool.
Yeah.
Getting to go to Washington for fucking free.
Well, here was
Not for
we
free.
paid
We
for
paid
it.
some, but
Um,
And
did you learn anything leadership wise from that
oh, fuck
conference?
no. The whole time I was there, because basically once we got there, they split us up
Yeah, which
into
sucked.
like groups of different people. So I didn't see Marcus most of the time, but
Yeah.
the whole time I'm like, because we'd basically be in a room like discussing, like, oh, what would
Mhm.
you do for this? Hypotheticals. And I'm like, these people are fucking losers. Like, I'm not that cool, but they're like, oh, I'm gonna volunteer all my time for community, this and that. I'm like,
I'm gonna go to my job and earn money.
I don't want to do any of the things you're doing. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, this sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, and I think like I had a lot of like inner city kids, and I
Yeah,
was
mine
like,
weren't inner city.
I live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Mhm.
There's my Walmart is 20 minutes away from my
Yeah, you
house.
can't relate anything to these random ass kids.
Yeah, and they're like, well, like the nearest Walmart for me is like 2 miles, and it takes like half an hour. I'm like, no, it's like 20 miles away.
Yeah,
I
you're
have to drive to it.
yeah. Around here, it's a mile a minute.
Yeah.
There, it's like a mile is a walking minute.
Yeah.
It's not the same, not a walking minute, but
But I do remember we were sitting in the classroom, and they were like, oh, well, what do you want to do? And I made some bullshit ass like
You
thing
look
up. That was like, oh, we suffer a lot of deforestation in my area,
Make
so
some
I'm
shit
gonna
up.
do this. And I was like, there's not a lot of trees, but that's because we farm.
yeah, because our
Yeah.
ground is so nice, it'd be a shame to leave trees on. it.
Yeah. Fuck the trees.
But everything, I'm like, what are they saying? Like, these people are like, they're
Yeah.
so like weird. Like, I don't
Mhm.
like this. Now, when it's like, you got to think it's a big chapter of like the FFA chapters that they're in are probably several hundred people, and they send their like 2 best people to represent them and learn. So it's like, yeah, I could see why they'd get like some super like laser focused preppy kids who love community
Yeah.
service, and we're just like, I don't
Nah, I
know,
don't give a fuck.
we show up to stuff, so I guess
Yeah.
we get to go.
We got the short end
Yeah.
of the stick because we got the short end of the stick all year round. So it was like,
It's like, hey, you do the most
Hey.
work. Hey, go do some stuff for us now. It's like,
yeah,
wait a minute.
go to DC for a week. What?
It was cool though. I
It
mean,
was a good trip.
it's fun to go to the Capitol just to see like, oh hey, like everybody's super spread out. No wonder nothing gets done here.
Yeah.
It's fucking like
Yeah.
oh, you have to walk a tunnel a fucking mile to get to a different
Oh
building.
God, remember taking the subways? That was fucking horrible.
People fucking running up the escalators. I know you're supposed to walk on them to go
I
fast,
don't
but
give a
it's
shit.
it's so dumb. Just stand still.
Yeah.
City folk. What do you got to be that's so important?
Right.
I think the most thing I learned on that trip was fuck DC.
Fuck DC and fuck Corduroy. I mean, we're not. It was
Yes.
it was either rainy and the coldest fucking wind possible
Yes.
for
Or
where
it
it was
was
nearly
hot.
nothing, or it was hot as fuck, and it was nothing in between. It was brutal.
Yeah.
After that, I'm like, wow, like I hate DC. This is so dumb. I
It
can't.
sucks.
I can't believe anybody chooses to be here. Then I'm like, oh yeah, it's because they get paid tons of
Mhm.
money to sit here and do nothing. It's gay. Hate it.
Well, off that little tangent.
Little tangent. Are you
Whoa.
kidding me?
Okay, that was
That's-
a big
I mean,
tangent.
That was like 15 minutes
we
of
just
us
bullshitted for a while.
shitted.
Shitted.
Fart came pant.
I don't know if we did that, but
Hmm.
either way. I thought you had a segue. You were like talking.
I
like
mean,
you had a
we
topic
can
you
we
wanted
can
to go
talk
into.
about my things if you'd prefer.
Well, you kind of made it sound like you had a like.
okay, sure.
You had a
We'll-
lead off that, and you just kind of stopped.
Throw me the first thing I got. The
Which-
first pictures I sent you.
Which first pictures? Do you
The-
want?
yeah.
Do you want
yeah.
greenhouse pictures?
Yeah, we'll start with the green. I have a greenhouse update.
Okay, let me full screen this house.
So
So
I had a little issues with my greenhouse, and that was because these fucking pots are so goddamn heavy. It bends the shitty gauged meshing in.
because you're on just a wire rack
Yep.
sheet essentially, it
So
starts to flex it into shape.
I was thinking, you know what? One of these days when I come over to help you with your stuff, I'm gonna like dig through the scrap pile and see if I just can't find some crappy aluminum plates or
Just
something.
some plate to stiffen that up a little bit.
Well, so I was at work and I was cleaning up, and I was like, oh, all these yardsticks from Maze Lumber. Oh, fuck, I'll just take these home. I'll drill holes in them and zip tie them. Works fucking
it looks
great.
Like it works great.
Looks like I grew a fucking pot.
It looks like you're growing
Yeah.
weed in your basement.
But yeah, so I got all my little hot peppers in there now, finally, because I had one habanero that I completely forgot about outside, and I don't know if he's gonna make it. But yeah,
it's only been 20 degrees out for a little
Yeah,
bit. I'm sure it's
whatever.
fine.
but yeah, you want to go to my cat picture? I have a funny story.
Oh,
Sure.
God.
So I know this picture's cropped because I was told that I couldn't show this. These are our Christmas pictures.
Yes.
So we
Oh,
always
you camed all over your leg. That's what that is.
So we took the cats outside to do these
Which
pictures.
They love being outside.
And Caitlin, of course, is taking these pictures, and she just goes, "Oh, what the fuck!" And all of a sudden, my leg felt wet. Turns out, Beans just straight up pissed on me.
Just pissed all over your leg.
pissed all down my fucking leg.
Oh my god.
Had to do a complete separate load of fucking laundry
Whole
because I'm
outfit
like,
change.
oh.
Because the cats love being outside. If you couldn't tell.
Well, she already has anxiety, and she's an inside-only cat.
Yeah.
She was not
So
happy.
you take them out and put them in a little collar, and they're just out there like, nope, not happy. Let me
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
please.
Oh.
So, yeah. Do we want to go on to this?
So you got your Christmas cards done. That's kind of neat.
We got our picture for our Christmas cards.
Ooh,
done.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
Do you want to go on to this bitchin' FJ Cruiser?
Do we want to go on to the best of SEMA so far?
Sure.
We can, yeah. Let's
Okay.
do that because I want to roll that into a Subaru update.
Okay. So this thing is called the FJ Bruiser, built by Toyota USA. This is powered by a Toyota Racing Development NASCAR engine,
Which makes
725
Oh,
horsepower.
it's 725 because I
I
had
think
a.
that's the spec, yeah.
I saw it as 745,
Either
but
way,
it's a NASCAR V8.
it's 700 plus horsepower of NA beastliness built into an FJ Cruiser body.
From 1966.
Yes.
Wow.
This thing is so cool and so well done. It's on solid axles, full hydro steer. This thing's
40,
stupid nice.
43-inch BF Goodrich crawlers.
Yeah, probably BFG Reds or something.
Mhm.
It doesn't say. I can't see the tire close enough.
And it apparently, according to Toyota, the gearing setup allows what they call the Bruiser to crawl at 12 mile an hour while revving to 7,000 RPM
That's a lot of gear.
in its lowest gear and up to 165 mile an hour at 7,000 RPM.
Oh my god! So it's definitely got a doubler in it.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Huh.
There's no way you're doing that without a second transfer case.
Yeah.
But still, like this thing's so
I
pretty
mean,
and
could,
so well
could
done.
you imagine going to Badlands and in the pit, just crawling up a fucking rock at, let's just call it 5K.
I mean, a lot of Toyota guys do that. Like Dustin with his blue Toyota, he's got a very low gear set in a manual. Like he can rev it. It basically doesn't move any faster. You know, as soon as it's rolling, that's all, you know, that's literally all it has.
Yeah, but still, like, god damn.
I mean, you're making, it's all
Torque.
It's all torque.
Isn't that what the crawling gear in the manual Broncos is though?
Yeah. It's
Like once it's rolling, that's it.
it's
Yeah,
a
that's all you can do.
super short gear ratio. It's like a 7 to 1 or some ridiculous number.
I think it is 7-1.
That way it'll crawl. Basically, because it's a manual, you can let the clutch out without having to try any. Because it has enough gear ratio to keep moving.
Regular Car Reviews had a good review on a Bronco. And
interesting.
he purposely did it. Like he tried to dump the clutch in and it took it.
It's designed so it will just go.
Yeah, it just went. Like he purposely tried to like just
you could try to
fuck
stall
with
it,
it and it would not.
Because that's when you're leaning backwards on a rock and you're like, I have to move forward, but if I slip and stall it, I'm rolling backwards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll over.
And that's what they tried doing.
So you can literally, like, as lightly as you can, you just let it start to climb, and you can hold the brake with the other foot without having to.
Interesting.
You're not jumping around.
Yeah.
You can just kind of let it go. It's super nice.
Common
Did you
4W.
also see the conveyor belt that they put on the bottom of that thing?
Conveyor belt.
They put
No,
they
what?
supposedly had a conveyor belt up underneath. I don't think you'd be able to see it. If you go to my pictures, you can maybe see it in that
Look
one a
at your
little bit.
pictures. There's a lot
If
of
you go to
pictures.
my
Oh, yeah.
pictures, there it is. So they put this conveyor belt up under here.
Okay.
They call it the tank mode. Apparently, it can be activated from inside the cab for those pesky instances where you find yourself supported by the gas tank rather than your tires.
Interesting.
Huh.
So, like, say if you're perched up on a dirt hill,
Mm.
you know, and you don't have enough weight specifically on the tires to kind of clear it without, giving it the beans
Basically,
and the
your
momentum.
tires are almost floating on both sides
Yes.
of whatever you're trying to climb over.
I could see that totally helping out. I don't know if it technically had to be geared.
Yeah.
I mean,
the best way.
yeah,
Because gears are
you might
great.
as fucking well.
Gears are great for transferring torque.
Yeah.
Whereas like
Well, I mean, like a drive system,
yeah.
not so much just it on rollers, but
Well, it has to, because if you stop on it,
yeah,
it would be
it's just
it'd
gonna
be
do
just as
whatever.
useless like that.
But
Because I know like a lot of the people we wheel with have full skid plates,
Mhm.
1/8 inch steel full plate. Well, I think it was Josh Anderson last hangover run. He was so balanced on a rock you could walk up and spin his Jeep. It was just perfectly perched on a little like center point. You could
was that
walk
when
up
he
and
went
wiggle
back
it.
in that really bad rock garden where he almost flipped?
No, he wasn't even close to flipping. That thing's so capable.
That thing was pretty close.
That was the night run. That might have been 2
2 years
two
ago.
times ago. Because that was in the middle of the night.
Oh,
I must have been riding with Andy at that point. But
probably.
basically, he'd went up over towards the back wall, but not. So there's the first wall
Mm-hmm.
that's like it's got the crazy gnarly side on the left, and then the regular road up the right. After that, up on the left, there's a nasty ledge. He was up on that. He got about most of the way up, and it just centered right on the center of it.
Jesus.
You could just walk up and wiggle it back and forth.
But it is an interesting concept that they did for that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that SEMA is good for, is showing off wacky, zany new ideas. And it's like,
I mean, hey, if it's strong enough to get beat the shit out of all the time, sure.
that's the thing is, yeah, can it support a 6,000-pound truck bouncing on top of it?
Well,
Yeah.
and so a couple of the videos I saw and designs that I saw of it is there's, excuse me, like 6 rollers up in there. So it's not just the 2 end rollers. It's actually supported in the middle as well.
It's like a tank where you
Yes.
can basically
Yes.
spread the whole length of it
So-
to try to
It'd be interesting. I'd actually like to see this,
do
I don't
something.
know, taken out and not just, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful concept showpiece.
Yeah.
But at the same time of, okay, if you guys, put your money where your mouth is. I mean, don't go out and destroy it, but,
Something like this
do
will
something.
Right.
It'll probably go to like Moab or something, do some
Yeah.
desert racing. Because I mean, just looking at the suspension design.
oh, it's
It's
nasty.
hydraulic front steering is super nice for rocks and stuff. It's on huge sticky tires, which are great. But the rear suspension is trailing arm. Either way, it's hard to see. But if you look right in front of the rear tire, there's a little. It looks almost like a slider.
Mm-hmm.
That's a trailing arm, which is excellent for dirt racing or sand, dirt. Like
Yeah. So what they do, like the
high-speed
Baja
racing.
1000s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably take this to Baja, Moab, one, King of the Hammers, some sort of like endurance off-road.
I'd
But-
watch that.
Oh yeah, it's super cool to watch. I mean, there's one, I think King of the Hammers is in like January.
Ooh.
I mean, we could go there. It's you just show up. It's just in the desert.
What state?
SoCal?
Arizona.
SoCal, I think.
Oh, fuck that. I'm not going to fucking California.
I mean, there's
Cool.
nothing there.
Do directions. See how long it would take us.
From here.
From here, 42 hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna say about that.
That's just a rough guess.
Ooh, it's searching a day.
1 day, 4 hours, 28 hours. Okay,
1,894 miles. So that's
it's really
That's
not
it?
that bad.
Yeah.
that's 3 gas stops if we all crammed in the Fusion.
Pop in the Honda, get 48 gallon.
If we could all fit in the Honda.
10 stops because it
And you
takes
can
tiny.
get plates for it.
You don't need plates per se.
In California, you probably will.
Farm
You're
use.
going to the desert. It's fine. Nobody's there.
Christ.
Jesus Christ. Okay, what else do we have to talk about today?
Well, the SEMA stuff. Did you
Oh,
have
there's
something
still
else
more
from
SEMA
SEMA?
stuff. You're
See, I
right.
thought there was more SEMA stuff.
Yeah, this is one that I
Yeah.
personally love. I'm waiting for. I need a good cover picture. Damn it! I hate when they don't put their photos in an order that makes sense. So this is a modern take on the 3-door Sierra Cosworth from Ford. It's called the RS4TI. It's running a 450 horsepower, 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine, all brand new and retro styled to hell. It's
I
so
love
cool.
the seats.
This thing is just unbelievably cool and well built. It's all the long swoopy lines you love
Mhm.
off that. Like, I saw this thing pop up from Larry Chen, and it's like everything about it is just so cool.
You know, and it has that real perfect balance of retro but new school.
It is a modern retro rally car.
Yes.
It's like, here's the original ones. Like, they're
Eh.
you could definitely tell where the inspiration comes from.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's all the same, but it's all long swoopy body lines with modern suspension, modern, drivetrain.
Modern technology with retro design work.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love it when companies like take the time to do stuff like this and,
And they do it right.
they do it very right.
Oh, shit. He was not
Hey,
lying.
yo, he's
Hey.
actually here.
Okay, let's take a
Okay, well-
pause break and get him in. Look, Andy showed up. Hi, everybody.
Are you
Hi.
recording now?
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So go back into the start of your story.
Okay.
Because
So,
explain it to Andy.
yeah.
The Subaru expert is here.
Thank
Cringe.
God. 'cause
What a
I'm
terrible
gonna,
thing to be.
The person who has any sort of knowledge on
I'm
the Subaru.
gonna need
Yeah.
a little bit of your help
The
on this
only
one.
person who's owned one.
So,
Yeah.
took Subaru to Tori's dad's
Wisconsin.
over last weekend, and she ran good. Stupid evap check engine light. Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Normal stuff.
Yeah. Was going down the highway and I was like, okay, like 3,250 RPM. Like I'm hearing a little bit of a tick. I don't know if
That was
it's
cruising what 80, 85.
In that
above
car?
70.
Yeah, but
That's-
like I don't honestly know what I cruise at because I don't have a tack.
Well,
So,
and
let
mine
him do it.
doesn't. My speedo is off by 5 RPM or
Oh, so
5
you don't
mile
actually
per
know
hour.
how fast.
Okay.
You were
So if I'm going 80, I'm going 75.
I'll say because I want to say that I was going like when I cruise at about 80, 85, which my tires are also fucked up. According to my speedometer, when I'm cruising 80, 85, and I want to say it was like 3,200 RPM was what I was cruising at.
is what you were guessing.
Yeah,
You don't
well,
have
because
a
I
pack.
plugged it in to my OBD2 reader,
Oh,
which has
sure.
the live RPM.
and you can
sure.
read it that
but
way.
I only ever did that once, and it was like well over a year ago, so I don't really know.
It's somewhere in the mid threes.
But-
probably.
Yeah, it's high.
So-
it's a 5-speed.
Oh, trust
So
me.
it's high.
The Honda does it at like 4,000. It's nuts.
Yeah, but you were also revved to 9. We only revved to like 6.
It revs
Yeah.
to 8 and it limiters at like 65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So heard a light tick. Didn't think too much about it. I was like, you know what? Like, come this week, I'll just hop over to Brian's. We'll just take a look at it.
Take a leak.
Because when we did the exhaust, I mean, I could.
You already pissed your pants earlier.
Damn it, I missed
You
it.
did miss it.
I'll
pull it up later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. When we did the exhaust, we realized that there was a little bit of an exhaust leak right up underneath the driver.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, it could just be that it's hitting a certain RPM and it's
That's when it's building enough back
the
to
pressure
pop
is
through.
just perfect enough to where I'm hearing it.
Mhm.
So pulled it in and it's pretty bad.
We'll play the video and see what you think, because I don't think it's that. The video makes it sound worse, and these headphones will make it sound even worse because they're
Yeah.
shit
Mhm.
headphones. But
I'm done driving this until I can get it semi-diagnosed.
I think it's fine.
I don't think it's fine
I
because
think
I would
it's
rather not do an entire engine swap.
It's $200, and
See,
I can have it out in 3 hours.
this guy gets
We'll
it.
see.
Just so you know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I
As long as there's nothing crazy. Well, I guess because you have an automatic trans, like
It's
you
a
know,
little bit more work.
a little bit,
Meh.
but not a lot.
Take
But
a listen
we'll-
and hear what you think.
we'll listen to this and then we'll go into it because I have a kind of an idea of what to do.
I don't think it's that bad.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I understand a cause for concern, but
You
at
can
the same
definitely
time,
you can
I think-
definitely hear it.
I just
that,
don't
that
want.
just sounds like any other box.
That's because box rate is all
I just don't want to do any more, aka expensive as fuck damage.
Yeah.
Like I've just stopped daily driving it. Like if I have to get it to here for us to work on it, that's fine. But I'm not driving it to work and beating the fuck out of it every day.
So I'm not driving it to Badlands?
Damn.
I didn't.
Sucks.
We
With
were
the four-wheeler on
we
the
were
roof,
not.
yeah.
Going, we were not going to
It's got trailer
Badlands.
hitch on the back.
Oh, true.
We were not going to Badlands in the first place.
You
as
you
of right
know
now.
That's you're lying,
You're
sir.
lying son of a bitch.
Because you were asking me
So-
like, damn, how hard would it really be to get back to the quarry? I'm like, oh, it's not that bad
Oh,
at
and the
all.
Subaru.
Yeah, no,
easy
the
as
Curry.
shit.
The Quarry. I
The,
figured
the
that'd be
four-wheeler would not be able to go,
I say,
but
No.
technically,
Fuck.
ATVs and bikes are not allowed in the quarry.
Yeah.
fine. Oh, then fuck. I'm not gonna bring it then.
Good answer. Good answer.
But
Sucks.
so I posted that video with just a brief description, just basically like, at this RPM, I hear a ticking noise. Here's the video. Any guesses? Any ideas? Any anything?
I do have something.
Well,
Yeah.
Did anybody? I'm assuming you posted in Facebook group.
No.
Oh, okay.
I
Ask
posted
Reddit,
it 6
Super-
different
Fast
places in
Mechanics,
Reddit.
Subaru
Oh, okay.
Mechanics, like
Did
all
anybody
sorts
say oil pump?
no.
Okay, because somebody did on one of mine took a shit. They thought that the bolts backed out of the oil pump because apparently that might be common,
Oh,
and it just
okay.
fell, and then the rods were hitting it.
That seems extremely
okay.
unlikely.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's just fucked. I had never. I wanted to drop the pan and see, but at the same time, like I don't even care.
I'd be
enough.
pretty sure it's not that.
So
Yeah, but if it's loose, that could be just a
See, my original thought was it's
Something?
timing chain bounce. The
well, it's
tensioner
belt.
Is it belt?
it is
belt
belt.
driven.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was chain or belt on the 2.5.
Yeah.
I know yours is
It's
a belt.
same
I didn't know
goddamn
if his
thing.
Was, but
Yeah, it's routed different. There is other shit. Your
But-
belt could be taking a shit
I don't know
if it's not
if
new.
the tensioner
There-
is
you can,
bouncing.
there's 2 or 3 bolts on a cover. We can see it like
Okay.
very quickly.
Cool.
Okay.
But so I posted on 6 different
Yeah, Subaru car.
subreddits.
subreddits. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had 3 people tell me it was a rod knock, 2 people tell me it was a piston slap, and then one weird person was like, check the AC and then turn it off real quick to see
It's
if it's
not.
the bearing. And I'm
It's
like,
not belt.
that's not
Oh,
the
no,
fucking
that's not a bearing.
that's not the fucking AC
You gotta think that's
bearing.
internet mechanics who have they have never seen the car in
Yes.
person. They're just guessing.
Yeah.
I know it's not belt for
So
sure.
I appreciate the comment, but it was like this is not it. And then fucking one jackass was like, lol, I saw this on 2 other subreddits. And I was like,
I mean,
Yeah, I know.
okay,
probably did.
cool.
Hey,
do you have
yeah,
any
which-
advice for
Which
me?
one
Yeah,
did you
like-
put it on?
If you broaden it,
So the one kind of key takeaway that I took from this was do a leak down test,
Okay.
because I don't know if Nick, if you specifically are familiar with a leak down test. I'll kind of go over it very quickly. So-
The Explorer, I've done many.
Okay, so
explain
but
it for the people.
for our
anyway.
listeners, hi Joanne, you take a spark plug out, thread a hose in, and then you pressurize that cylinder at top dead center. And if you see a pressure difference between what you're putting into it versus what it's reading, you know you have a leak. Then from there, if you hear it from either the intake, the exhaust, the block, or the case, I guess in this
In this
example,
instance,
you can kind of narrow down, if it's coming from the exhaust, it's going to be an exhaust valve. If it's coming from the intake, it's going to be an intake valve. If it's
Yeah.
coming from the block, you're either having blowback,
It's usually
head gasket,
piston ring
or,
then. or if it's bubbling coolant,
Yeah,
then it's
other
head
shit.
gasket. But
so I think kind of that is where
where
I
you
think
want
I
to start,
should go. Because at least that way it's not, well, let's rip the engine out of it, and then whatever we find is fucked up is what I'm going to replace.
It helps eliminate problems.
Yes.
yeah.
To where I can save maybe a little bit of money on some gaskets or something.
But I'm fairly certain it's not a ring
I highly doubt it's
because
a
it
ring.
doesn't smoke.
No.
If it was a piston ring, it would smoke.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not a valve because it doesn't pop or bang at idle.
No.
Normally it would be a little bit
There would be
stuttery,
some sort of small misfire. Yeah.
or the intake would smell like exhaust.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if it'd be enough to do that, and that would be more of a, as it gets loaded, it would start stumbling and not just
Yes.
making noise.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of more leaning towards it's a timing issue, whether that be the tensioner or.
Well, yeah. I say if the tensioner's taking a shit,
Yeah.
like say it was, because I still don't know. I don't believe if this engine was actually rebuilt or not.
I
don't think
highly
so.
doubt it.
Yeah.
If it was,
We're just gonna say it's not.
was
for the
or
sake
wasn't,
of.
that tensioner still has 250,000 miles on it.
Most likely.
177, but yes.
Yeah, assuming it's factory, yeah.
If that's getting loose, then there is still somewhat play, like basically between the one bank and other bank of each side of the engine.
The sound
would be
is nearly-
slightly off.
The sound is nearly right in the center
Yeah.
valley. Maybe a little bit towards the passenger side. It's the video made it very clear when it was doing it, and not in reality it's not crazy
It's
loud.
not that loud.
You had to kind of like listen for it to find it.
Okay.
But in reality, I'm like, it's probably just the skirt of the piston's worn down a little bit, and it's kind of rocking back and forth as the connecting rod's coming all the way around. It's kind of tilting it back and forth and just wiggling against the wall.
So
Is what I'm thinking.
Subaru's fucked.
Yeah.
For the time being.
For the time
I would
being.
just I
Welcome
would
to
just
Subaru
rather
ownership.
like, hey, let's do a leak down test, and okay, we have a leak on cylinder 2. Let's throw a
Yeah.
$30 borescope down there and see what's fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this piston's obviously fucked. Okay, tear it apart, head gaskets.
I'm
just
sure it's
fucking
nothing.
do all of it.
I'm sure it's nothing crucial. The worst it could be is a rod bearing.
Yeah.
Normally they're way louder. Than
Oh
that when
yeah.
they go.
I mean, we heard Andy's.
'Cause
That
it would
thing
be-
fucking squealed like a
Yeah.
hog.
Like I said, I kind of wish I would have known what that was, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's like when it's a rod, you'll hear it a little bit, and then it'll get extremely clear very quick. Because once a bearing is making bad contact,
Oh,
it
yeah.
destroys itself.
Yeah.
And running at 3,000 RPM, it would destroy itself.
Yeah.
Instantly.
So
I found the post. Yeah.
very cool.
yeah, so I'm just gonna
stupid out
kind of take it easy and try to not drive that as much until I can get some funds and
I think
time.
it's just normal 170,000 mile car stuff in reality.
But here is my point to taking it easy on it. And I know I've explained this to you, but I'll explain it to
to everyone,
everybody else.
right?
This car's sole purpose is to, hey, me and Tori are going to go to Chicago. Hey, me and Tori are going to go here because we won't be putting miles on her car or my car. So I don't want to, hey, let's go visit your dad for Christmas in the middle of a fucking snowstorm and get halfway there and the engine blows.
Then it's fine.
then you just try to find heat and wait for me to come pick you up.
Yeah,
pretty much,
Yeah,
right?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
you
one of
want to
us can
call
just pick
me
you up.
on Christmas Eve and just be
Well,
like,
I'll bring my
hey,
truck and trailer
I'm
with a
broke
winch up and, like,
down.
Scooch.
Oh, I mean, rescue the car.
yeah,
Yeah.
winch
Yeah.
it up, and I'll be like, all right, where are we
fine.
going?
Right.
It drove 2,000 miles home.
It did.
Right.
I'm babying her a little bit because again, that whole the engine was rebuilt is
Yeah, that's
completely
just not true.
unnone.
That's just
so
not
Yeah,
true.
I really doubt
It
that.
was not
I would
rebuilt.
rather not have to replace the entire fucking engine and then
That's the-
start all over
That's
again.
the easy option, is replace the whole
Yeah.
engine.
Notice why I didn't rebuild mine. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, found one in Joliet, done.
Well,
Which
because-
yours is even more common. I bet there's one in Streeter.
Oh, I'm sure. And like, if it
Streeter
is,
does not have any.
Oh, that's surprising.
but if it is a rod bearing, you're not going to replace that anyway.
No.
You're going to put a whole
No.
engine.
Oh
in.
yeah,
No, that's why a
Literally,
leak down test.
my engine was
and-
$250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like to just not care and like, well, and like the one place I got it at, it was able to run. So like they started it for me when I was there. I was like, perfect. It runs. It doesn't smoke. Sounds healthy.
Good enough.
Take it out. I'll
Yeah.
pick it up. We're good.
Yeah. I'm
So-
assuming it's a very minimal, like, yeah, the piston's worn in and it just bounces a little
Oh,
bit. or
if the
something.
pistons weren't in, fuck it, I'll run it.
If you put a leak down on it and it tests good,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? Just run it?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm in.
Well, see, also, I'm assuming you never noticed this because there was a lack of exhaust. So now that you do have an exhaust, it's a little bit quieter.
It's
It's like, oh, I can
very
hear things now.
hard to hear going down with
In the
road
car.
noise, wind noise on the road doing it. Like you have to have no music playing,
Yeah.
no fans
Yeah.
running whatsoever, and you like
But even before with that exhaust cut off where it was, it
Oh, God, no, I
it
never
could have.
fucking
I'll
heard
say it could have droned a little bit more,
Yeah.
and you never would have heard it.
Nope.
So,
And you'd have to be almost listening for it.
yeah,
In
like
the shop
so.
with the hood open, it's the only time you can actually
yeah,
kind of
like
hear
it's,
it.
oh god,
And that's like,
so-
yeah. And
which I'll be honest, even my old engine before it blew and this one, it's like, yeah, it makes kind of like, it's just not.
It's just
I just
great.
want to make sure it's not going to completely fucking grenade itself when I
Yeah.
need it to go somewhere.
Yeah.
It needs to be semi-reliable.
It is semi-reliable.
Yeah,
Until
until it
it's not.
possibly blows.
That's my truck could blow up tomorrow.
Oh my
Everything's
God.
semi-reliable.
Jesus Christ. You
It's
guys
fine.
know where I'm coming from. Stop
No,
giving
I
me
know,
shit.
I know.
I know.
But I'll say, once Brian gets his trailer done,
Which is
he,
soon.
Yeah, I'll say he can. Yeah, I'll say I'm assuming you might have done a trailer update or no.
Not yet. No,
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
We're
about
going
it
to
yet.
get to that next.
We could talk. about
So yeah, I'll say I'm assuming Brian will be able to get you. I don't know if you're gonna put a winch on it yet or not, but
that. I'm gonna
come
put a-
alongs are a thing too.
There'll be a winch
so-
on the truck, so probably not on the trailer.
Yeah. So
We just hope
Um,
that it's going downhill.
Yeah.
It'll still
no,
run if it blows up.
on the way to rescue you, you stop at fucking Tractor Supply and buy a $30 come along, and it'll winch your car up there.
guess that's
in a
fair.
chain.
I
I'll
don't
load
know.
my red truck on there, bring it there, use that winch to pull you up,
pull you up.
and then you can drive the red truck home.
Math.
Oh,
Not-
yeah, because
Boy
Tori
math.
will
Boy
love
math.
that.
That is boy math.
She'll love my
actually.
39-inch bias.
Dude math.
plies. It's so loud.
Going
Three
down the
speed
fucking
transmission.
It has
Oh, fuck.
4.
Oh, it's got 4.
Yeah.
I think
You
so.
technically-
yeah,
Does it?
Yeah, it's an E4.
Have you ever felt it?
No, God,
Have you
no.
ever hit fourth gear
Holy
in that
fuck.
thing?
I have done, I think, 35 mile an hour, and that
I
was,
think I drove it down the road. I had like 45,
that was
maybe.
plenty. Well, 35 on the dash. which
Oh yeah,
after
yeah.
going.
Well,
from
no, this was when it was stock still. I drove it down the road. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, stock it was fine with the bias plies. it
Oh
is
yeah, with the
way
bias
worse.
plies, absolutely not.
It is way different and shortened 24 inches or whatever.
Yeah,
It's a
true.
way
So,
different
yeah,
experience.
that's where we're at with the Subaru, unfortunately.
It's
Damn.
probably fine,
It's-
but yeah, I understand.
I would
wanting
like to at least take a look.
yeah,
Yeah.
slow and steady.
Well, while
yeah.
you're losing faith in your Subaru, I'm gaining some in mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
oh no,
Not really. No, I just
Have you-
I have to rely on it more because I sold my daily driver.
yeah,
I
Oh,
was
yeah, we have that update.
yeah. This was
Gonna
gonna be
ask
the
you
main
on
topic,
that.
and then you didn't show up.
Yeah.
What a dick.
I'm here.
Late.
Yeah. You
He's
know.
here.
We didn't start till like 7:15.
Oh,
you weren't-
perfect.
You weren't that.
Yeah, I
late.
say I think the timer was
Fine.
like 40 minutes. Oh, we're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did. I had. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a whole fucking
Like
story
50
behind this.
messages.
There's so
and
much
whatnot.
behind it.
Oh, I had like 120 people message me about this car.
So many people.
Which, so I take good pictures of things except for the rust because you're
Speaking of pictures, do you need to send me any for this or
not necessarily.
okay,
No.
you're fine then.
No, so I just generic. This is the car. This is the interior. I shampooed the interior. I vacuumed it all out. Like
Wow.
I've shampooed the seats, not the carpet. I didn't care about the carpet.
It's crazy that you'll own this car for like 2 years. Never do that for yourself.
I know.
And as
I
soon as
literally
you're
told
gonna
myself
sell
that
it-
I'm like in the dirt that came out of it. Oh my god!
my
I can't
God.
wait to like. I kind of want to do it to Subaru seats because like the amount of dirt
Don't
that
do
came
it.
out of the Fusion. Oh my god! It's
The
fucking
Subaru seats will
crazy.
probably change color.
Oh,
if you do
probably.
that.
I would not doubt it.
the whole Subaru would change color.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So cleaned it all up. Took decent pictures of it. Dude was basically there's probably about 20 people who messaged me. I listed it Friday night.
Thursday, because
Thursday.
you came
You
here.
were talking about it on the podcast.
You came here and had just listed.
Yes,
it.
that's true. Yeah, because I was getting a shit ton of messages then.
Yes.
tons of messages.
So yeah, by that by Thursday night, I probably had 25 messages.
Oh, at least.
I went to bed fairly early, like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Woke up in the morning to another 20 messages. By the time the guy, I had messaged the dude, like the original person who was most interested. I'm like you have first shot. Do you want it? He's like, yes, I will come there right now. I have to rent a car, and then come up there. I'm like, all right, fair. Like whatever.
Red flag number 1.
Oh no! I was like, sure, whatever. Like, what time are you gonna get here? He's like, what was the original time? I think 2 o'clock.
Oh wait, really? That early?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh no.
So yeah. So he goes, yeah, probably about 2 o'clock. This is 10 a.m. He came from St. Louis. It's about a 3.5, 4 hour drive.
Yeah, it's an easy
It's
3-hour
it's
drive.
a good 3-hour
So
drive.
he goes. He starts heading up here. Well, I think he did it. He had a U-Haul truck, like just a pickup truck from U-Haul, because
Truck
for
and trailer or
whatever
something.
reason he picked that. I think probably because it was cheaper.
U-Haul's convenient because you can just drop it off wherever you're at.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he did that and then had trouble with the truck because he asked me where the most close U-Haul is. I'm like, Peru, it's 20 minutes away. I don't know.
Right.
And he goes, okay, perfect. He comes up, fucking probably this would be 11:30 a.m. maybe noon. He's like, hey, had some trouble. He sends me a picture of him at an Enterprise rent-a-car. And I'm like,
This was at 11?
in the morning.
So the first, 11 a.m.
Holy
So yeah, no,
shit.
like it was an hour and a half later. He's like, "Hey, had some trouble with the U-Haul truck. Got an Enterprise car. I'm heading that way still." I'm like, "Okay, cool. What time you think?" He's like, "Probably 4:00." I'm like, "That makes sense. You're about, you're leaving there at noon."
Yeah.
4
He
hours
basically
away,
didn't even leave St. Louis, or like maybe got on the other side of the river. I don't know.
Oh my
Fuck.
God. Okay, I thought
In
he
the
made
first
it
hour and a
further.
half.
Holy shit.
So then he gets up and he's going. I'm like, "All right, cool." So now I'm gonna be like, "All right, 4:00." I'm like, "I'll push it back." I think I just played a couple more rounds of CS:GO. I'm pretty sure, or
Yep.
CS2.
CS2.
Yeah.
He comes up. He's about Springfield area, and it's 4:00. No. He messaged me like probably 2:30, 3:00.
Sure.
Just fucking downpouring. He's like, I've been fighting the rain for like an hour. I'm trying to get there. Is there any way you can meet me? And I'm like, I have no clue. Like I don't know.
You're like,
I'm like, maybe, but I'm also cooking dinner right now, so I have no clue.
yeah,
This
because
is when you got a
Or
hold
no,
of me.
that was-
he texted me too.
Yeah,
I figured.
You texted me at 5:30.
yeah, because I was cooking dinner when
Yeah.
I called.
It was
calling everybody.
probably almost dark by then. Well, plus it was raining, so it probably
So-
was dark.
Yeah, he must have said 4. Then he must have said, "Oh, okay." I think that's what it was. He sent me that message, and then it took probably 20 minutes for me to read it, and then another 20 for him to reply.
Right.
So like it was probably almost like 5-ish o'clock.
Mhm.
He's like, "Hey, what's your phone number? Let me call you." So then I get on the phone with him. He's like, "Okay, like where do you want to meet?" And I'm like, "I can maybe drive an hour south. Like that would be about where you would be at if I leave,
If we both
at a recent
drive-
time."
We both drive
Yeah.
another hour each way.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, like I'm like, let's try to plan for Bloomington. Let me see if I can find somebody to come with me. Meanwhile, I knew he was African American. I knew he was coming from Chicago,
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
or sorry, St. Louis, Little Chicago.
You know very little
Um,
about him.
No, absolutely nothing about him. There's no profile picture on Facebook. His name on Facebook is not his actual name.
Of course.
So I'm like, I kind of want to carry because I legally can do that.
Can
and I'm
legally
like,
do that.
I should have somebody else. If I need to have somebody else drive my car down so I can get a ride
Yeah, 'cause
back
you have
home.
to drive there and back.
So I'm like, if I got to bring somebody else, I might as well have them carry too. I'm like, Brian
I can do that.
just got off work. He probably doesn't want to leave.
I was still at work because I worked till 6.
Yeah.
But
And then
still.
I was planning to leave like 6:30 to get
Yeah.
down there. I got a decent time.
Yeah, I had parts I had to fix for our combine at home. 'cause
Yes, that's what it was.
It ate a huge chunk of metal and needed to be fixed.
Oh yeah.
So I had to get that stuff done because they wanted to start rebuilding it Friday night.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to get that done first.
So I'm like, Marcus, what are you doing, buddy? And
you
he's
doing?
like, I
I'm
could.
playing Starfield.
Yeah, he's like, I could probably do it, but I'm also just cooking dinner. Like, I'm literally standing over the grill on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I'm cooking dinner right now too. So like maybe 6:30 I can leave by, like, and then we can drive an hour.
he's
We'll
like,
see.
I could do it, but I don't want to.
No, it was so my stipulation.
Well, Tori was coming home too, so you didn't know.
So Tori got a little hangry because she didn't eat lunch.
Mhm.
So,
Understandable.
No offense to her,
Been
she's
there,
in a
done
bad
that.
mood. And so I threw just a lasagna in the oven real fast, and that
Yeah.
takes fucking 65 minutes
Okay.
to fucking cook.
Okay, Garfield.
Lasagna. So by the time she was gonna get home, it would have been out for like 2 minutes, and then I would have had immediately book ass to your house.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, I can if you need me to.
But it's not
You know,
very convenient.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna tell you no, fuck off. But
Yeah.
I'm also not gonna be like, oh yeah, let me just drop everything I'm doing.
Yeah, I was hoping it was convenient. I'm like, no big deal. Well, then
Because
I'm
normally you
like,
don't eat till 11 o'clock at night because you're
Well,
fucking-
no, that's second dinner.
Sorry. I forgot boy dinners on
sorry,
the menu
lasagna,
here.
or sorry,
Yeah.
Garfield.
That's
Yeah.
because I don't fucking eat at all during the day.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, 6 o'clock,
You're
one slice of
fucking
lasagna.
nuts.
I'm done. Midnight. I am
I'm
starving.
starving. I have a headache.
I will raid these cabinets till there's nothing left.
Damn.
Eating
I'm
raw salt out
hungry
of the
again.
package.
So yeah, I finish up
Anyway.
cooking my dinner, run inside, eat. I'm like, but at the same time, I'm also trying to find people. I'm like, who else has concealed carry and who would like is
Be
free enough to do this right now?
help.
I hit up Alex, which
Yep.
he's working underground, so his went
Okay.
straight to voicemail.
I was gonna say which
Oh.
Alex, but that answers it.
So I'm like, oh yeah, that sucks. So then I call my buddy Michael from the heating and plumbing place. So
Michael K.
yeah, I was like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, nothing.
Oh,
I was
that
like-
Michael.
I was like, hey, you're free, right? And he's like, yeah. What do you need? I'm like, I need somebody to follow me in my car to. We ended up picking. It was supposed to be El Paso, but then it ended up actually being Minonk, which is only like 30 minutes
At
south.
that point, he
Oh my
should
That's
I know.
not bad. Yeah.
Okay, the
But-
whole reason he was trying to meet me was because he had to be back
Fuck.
in St. Louis at 11 p.m. for work.
Yeah. Which
Okay.
is a bit of a him
I thought
problem.
you said 8 p.m.
No,
'cause I
sorry,
was like,
11.
this dude is not going to make it to
he was
work
supposed
on
He was supposed to
time.
be at my house at 8.
he can just speed.
Okay, I got
Um,
you. Brother, you're not going to do a 3-hour trip in an hour.
You can make it to Bloomington in half an hour.
That's Bloomington,
yeah,
and we
so-
know those roads and know where the cops sit.
Yeah.
easy.
So he was but yeah, so we eventually settled on Minunk. It's like a half hour south. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I was like, all right, like I don't care. I just want this. Like I was not at this point. I've wasted all day.
You're so
I messaged him at
invested.
10 a.m. It is now 6:30,
Yeah.
and I still don't have this fucking thing sold. When there's 120 people, still even after I marked it pending at like 11:30 a.m. Still
messaging.
probably had 10 people fucking message me.
all for $2,200 instead of $25.
Yeah, I'm like, and I the same message I repeated. I'm like, the first person to come to me with 2,500, it's yours. Like that's
Yeah, I have.
if there's
hundreds.
120 people who want it for 2,200, then
I just need
somebody's gonna give me 25.
one person has
That's
to be
it.
like, "Yep, okay."
Yeah, and that was this dude. So I'm like, okay, come on, but like, I literally was so, and there was a girl who wanted it, and I was just gonna be like, and she was an hour. She said she was an hour away, and she's available all day. I'm like, fuck, like, all right, like you are second if this dude keeps fucking with me.
Right.
But at some point, once I started playing Counter-Strike, I didn't care because I wasted like 4 hours, so like it was just kind of like a fast forward button.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like-
just look
I'm
at your
like,
phone.
Just hurry
Oh.
up and let me sell this fucking car.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna stand outside waiting for you. I'm gonna go do something else until you get here.
Yeah, and so I did, but then that was snowball, and then I was like,
Cascaded.
oh my god, it's fucking 4:30, and he's still not even close to here.
Not even close.
So yeah, I left my house at like 7:10.
Oh my god.
Got down there, fucking test drove the car. It just gets done raining. As we're doing the test drive, it starts downpouring again. Can't see a fucking thing on the black top road in the country.
Hell yeah.
We're at the road ranger there.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, whatever. Nice enough dude. He asked me about the Bluetooth, and I'm like, no, he did.
Bluetooth audio.
Yeah, that's fair. But he's like, can you just show me that it works? I was like, I just like on my phone forgot my car because I knew I was selling it today, and I don't know the pin that it's asking me for. Turns out it was something fucking stupid.
Like 0000.
No, I tried all the simple shit and it wasn't. So I'm like, I don't know what it is. Well, turns out like I just forgot how to do it. So I had to look up a YouTube video, go
Jesus
in, like
Christ.
I had to hit like 2 buttons, and then it was like, this is the pin to connect a phone, and then you had to click connect a phone.
This guy is like, "Hey, I'm in a hurry. I'm gonna be late for work. Also, can you show me how?"
Well, he has a
Bluetooth
3-hour
works?"
drive back home. He wanted to bump his tunes, so
That's-
I mean,
understandable.
that's fair, but like he could have also pulled
could
that up
Google
on
it.
his own.
Oh, but so like right when I get there though, he nitpicks. He's like, "Man, you didn't show this the rust."
I
There's-
took a picture of every side
Okay,
of the
and
car.
anybody who asked me about rust or anything
Yeah,
that's
you were
wrong
just
with
straight
it,
up with
I'm
them?
like, rocker panels. It's very, very, very common on this
It's
car.
extremely common. Yeah.
So I'm like whatever, man. So yeah, he's kind of pissed about it, but he's like, yeah, you didn't show a picture of this. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I did in the thing I said, I very clearly said, windshield is entirely broken.
Destroyed. Yeah.
And everybody's like, how bad is it? I'm like, you can see through it, but it's probably
that's-
not weatherproof.
that's
Like, I
about
wouldn't
it.
I would not go through an automatic car wash with it.
Oh fuck no! It was destroyed.
No.
But yeah, anybody who asked me about rust, I'm like, yeah, rocker panels are bad. But other than that, it's kind of ugly, but it's a good car.
It's a good
I
running
drove,
car.
and I told the dude, I'm like, I was driving this 110 miles round trip every day for work for the last year.
Never skipped a beat.
No,
No.
the only other problem it had was the struts, and I just replaced them.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Fixed
You
everything.
have a little bit of Illinois rust. Get over it.
Yeah,
whatever.
You're getting it for $2,500.
Well, no, I think what he did is a move I've pulled is when he gave me the cash, he pulled $100 out of it because he was pissed off about the rust.
oh Jesus.
So he gives me the money, and I count it, and I count it again, and I count it again. I'm like, count this, and let me know how much it is.
Yeah,
He's like, 2,400. I'm like, look, I don't care. It was in a bank envelope, so I'm like, I don't care. I was gonna knock $100 off for the rust anyway because you seem pretty pissed about it.
right.
Just and at this point, you've wasted my entire day. It's not worth
Yeah.
me waiting a whole other day to sell it for another $100
No.
because I've already wasted an hour
Gas.
of drive. My buddy's coming over.
Yeah.
Granted, they owed me a favor, but
Yeah.
I'm
And-
like,
And then he
just
knows
fuck
that
this.
too, so he's like, "I'll just give him a little bit less."
yeah, and I've done that before too. I've
Yeah.
literally been like, just take a little bit out of like
Whatever
going,
you're
going
gonna-
there expecting this, but finding out it's worse. Taking a little bit out of the money, be like this is all I
Yeah,
brought.
here is the envelope full of money. Count it. If that's enough, we're good.
yeah.
Like,
And I'm like, I've done the trick. If it was legitimate, he's like, oh, bank must have fucked me. I'm like, I don't.
For $100, no, they'd be fucking calling you.
I'm like, I don't care, man. He did show me on his phone the receipt or his bank statement that said negative 2,500.
Yeah,
Like, okay, so like
took $100 out of it.
yeah, I'm like, okay, I literally don't care. Here, sign the title. Goodbye.
So he gave you 24.
Yeah, I'm like, and at this point, like I said, like it's not worth me waiting another day to sell this fucker
That's
for another
kind of a
$100.
fucking dick move.
I've done it.
get
I've done it though.
He's
I
from
don't care.
St. Louis.
I get it, but
I don't
like,
care.
What you're supposed to do is, oh fuck, I only brought 2,200. Hey, can you loan me 200? You know, you
Yeah.
ask, you ask your buddy that came down with you, like, do you have any money on you?
again, I get it, but like at the same time, I am pissed
Well,
about this rust. Will you
thing
do
is-
2,400?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but
and that's kind of what he did, just in his own terms. But at the same time, on his end, he should have looked at this as like, why would I lowball this dude when I clearly had a shit ton of other people
Yeah.
messaging me.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like there's a picture of every corner of the car. If you want more pictures, you have to ask for them. You
Yeah.
cannot-
Yeah.
You cannot expect people to point out the worst part of the car when they
No.
don't have to.
I can't wait till he sees the zip ties holding the rear spoiler on and
Fuck
the zip
'em.
ties holding the front bumper onto the airbox and
But
yeah.
it looks cool. So
There
Well-
there was probably 10 white people who messaged me about this car.
yeah,
Not a single other person was white.
Yeah.
Like just everybody. Yeah,
That's
this is
racist,
this
Andy.
is a cool car. It is stylish, and white people don't know style. to
It's an
say the least.
American Nissan Altima.
Not like
Kind
those
of, yeah.
Chrysler 300s.
white people buy the Ford 500, which
Yes.
is
that is the,
with nicer badging.
yeah, and better interior.
Pull that
Well,
up.
yeah,
so I
or
don't
more
But
think I've
doesn't that
seen
have a
those.
CVT?
No,
What, the 500? No.
Yeah, the 500.
gross.
It's the same car.
Or is it the Freestyles?
Oh
the
yeah,
freestyle, maybe.
I
Yeah,
know
Ford 500.
these.
Yeah, a Ford 500 is
Hold
a
on, hold on.
Fusion.
Type in mint green
It's
because
a
that's the
baby
color that I
green.
always see them in.
Nick's
You can
car.
see the rust on that door there. Is
can,
that
you
the Wikipedia? It had the rust.
Yes.
This is the color that I.
Oh
always
my
see.
god, these
It's
are
the
like
mint-
burned
Cannon.
into my fucking brain.
Yeah.
But that compared to a Fusion,
Yeah, Ford. Yeah. Well, I'll say the facelift was 2011 to 2012.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is quite more sleek
It's-
and stylish.
but it's the same car.
damn
Like,
near
Yeah.
white people buy the 500.
Still better than a cruise.
Everything's better
Anything's
than
better
a
than
Cruise.
Cruise.
correct.
I don't remember who it was. It was one of the British publications, but they're like, wow, they took everything that's good about a small hatchback and ruined it. The steering's terrible. The power is terrible. The brakes are terrible. The gear shift's terrible. Like, how did they make it this bad?
Then they made a cheaper version called the Sonic, and my sister owned one,
Fuck.
and it was equally as absolutely terrible as a Cruise, but just smaller and cheaper.
Yeah,
It's
they
like a
ruined
Kia
everything.
Soul, but made by Chevy.
Kia Soul was made
Ford.
by hamsters.
Yeah.
I
I
had a
hate Kia
really
Souls.
good story from when I had to borrow Doug's work cruise. He likes to do this thing where, and I have a picture of it because no one believed me that it fucking came up with this message. Every time it would try to shift in the second, because the second shot out. I don't know if it's a solenoid or his transmission's shit.
Sure.
That would come up.
Shift denied. Shift.
Oh
denied.
my
It literally-
god.
It'd go in the first, it'd hang, ding, and just shift denied in third.
I mean, at least it's
Jump
telling.
The
it.
fact that they programmed that onto the screen
It says
is fucking
shift denied.
hilarious.
That means they knew it was gonna happen. That's
God,
the only
that's
reason
funny
that's
as
that's
And
like
like chinsed out on the solenoids.
they're
And
like
Oh,
they're like, okay, what if it doesn't shift?
Now,
Like, just tell them no.
I think it was still kind of cold. Oh no, it was at operating temp. But the first time it did it, it was when it was cold. So I just thought like, oh, it's,
Eh.
I'm fucking gunning it. It's cold. Like
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
give it the benefit of the doubt.
I'm being too hard on
But
it.
then like right when I approached my apartment at the time, still it did it again. So I texted Doug. So I texted Doug like, hey, like,
see
does this do this to you, or am I just having bad luck? And he's just like, oh no, that's part of the ownership of this thing.
Welcome to Chevy ownership.
LTZ Cruise, and it can't shift in the second.
Disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Disgusting.
They're so cheap and terrible. It's just not good.
Yeah, no, there's
Well, I'm glad that you finally sold your Fusion, Andy.
yeah.
Congratulations.
So up a little bit of money. Gonna be spending it here soon.
Spending it real
On?
soon. Don't worry about it.
1-ton axles.
Attaboy.
And like bills.
Yeah.
And like,
Bills, bills, and
a
bills.
Oh, and
quarter
my-
of responsibility and 75% on fun
No, there's
shit.
a lot
No.
of bills.
Yeah, entirely backwards to that.
Yeah, most of them are
Um,
bills probably. Knowing
yeah.
Andy.
So how's farming going?
We have like 800 acres left. We've been doing about, I don't know, 60 to 100 a day.
That's
So
a pretty good base.
It mostly depends on
Weather?
like changing fields. Like we realistically, if so, like the first half of the day and the second half of the day, are like really productive. That's the middle when we switch fields and shit. If we start in one field and finish it, we do easily over 100 acres.
Oh yeah.
But it's the moving and the this and that, and then
yeah.
like we switched from beans and corn back and forth like 6 times now.
Jesus.
And they also had
Fuck.
like 2 weeks ahead of me, like is when they started. So I haven't even been in the full swing of shit.
You're catching
They do like
up
a couple
as they're doing it.
thousand acres is how much they've done.
Christ.
That's why they need full-time help,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah. They have one absolutely full. Like he starts 7:30 every day, and,
Yeah.
and we've been going till the latest I worked till it was like 9:30 one night.
Yeah, till like absolute darkness.
Yeah, well,
Till-
because the elevators, all but one elevator closes at 7. So you run the
Fill.
wagons till 7. After that, you just fill them for the morning.
So you can run first thing in the morning.
Yeah, but then like then they let me start late because then they have the guy who it was running the wagons fill the auger cart, running back and forth from the combine to the wagons.
Right.
Once I get there, he jumps back in the wagon that's now full, and then we kind of have a rotation now.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Damn.
So pretty good.
but yeah, so I'll be all of next week probably still.
At least, yeah. Another week, 10 days, somewhere
yeah.
in there.
Sounds like after that I'm going to be starting to haul in a semi. So
Nice.
he said he's got work for me through the winter, which is good because I haven't heard fuck all from my actual jobs. So.
Which is
I was gonna
almost
ask you about
good
that.
because you got the one in Hennepin that might take
yeah,
you.
I need to kind of follow up on that a little bit
Yeah,
more, and
especially-
just kind of
What's
see.
that one?
There's a sand plant in Hennepin, and a friend of a friend, basically. He's been there for 2 years. Everybody else besides him is like old. He's 35ish. Everybody else is really old. None of them want to do plant maintenance, and they're kind of looking for another guy.
Fuck man.
And
There's
I'm like,
time to do
and
that
I was like,
shit.
I'm young. I know what to do, and it's 30 minutes from my house. Like it's probably the closest sand plant for me to be
Fuck
at.
it.
So,
Yeah.
like, I would like to work there. And
Yeah, they want you to work there. You want to work there. The schedules just have to line up. Right.
I need to either like basically work a couple small jobs in the springtime until they're ready to hire me, and then just quit, jump back on the out of work list, and then they can pull me from it.
Yeah.
Or hopefully they can try to like maneuver me through there and kind of get something lined up more or less. But that's kind of what I need to call them about and be like, hey, like realistically, if you were to hire me, what month would it be? Would it be like March or like May?
Yeah, because there is a difference.
Everybody is off the out of work list by May, but everybody's on it in March. And the problem with me is I was number 5 on it. I might be number 1 or 2 or 3 right now.
Yeah.
because there's just no work happening.
Because right
for
now
me to
that
get
it's
called out.
it's getting cold, people are starting to slow down.
Yeah,
shut down.
there's a shit ton more on the list now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, there was 6 people when I called on, and that was the second week of September.
Yeah.
I bet there's 30, 40, 50 people on it now.
Well, hey, I mean,
And by the end of
at least
December,
you got
there'll be
on
a
it
couple
earlier.
hundred. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
So you got to time that out just right to make it.
yeah.
To make it
if I
work,
was
but-
deeper in the list, it'd make it easy for me to jump
Oh,
to them
yeah.
because there wouldn't
Right.
be.
And that's like if you get a small 2-day job, you can get bumped back a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
which I don't. I was denied my unemployment officially. I don't know if
Oh,
I don't.
that-
Oh.
I believe that
Wow.
from working 2 days.
Well, no, from my other job.
Well, yeah, because you quit.
Yeah.
When you
well,
quit, you don't get unemployment.
technically you can. It's just a matter of like a bunch of bullshit.
It's like a circumstantial
like-
review.
Yeah, basically. And so like they called me, I interviewed, like they took fucking 3 weeks for them to give me an answer.
Oh, of course.
And I'm like, whatever. So I've completely given up on that. My dad is still convinced that it's like, no, you just gotta wait a 6-week waiting period after you quit that job, and then you can refile. And I'm like, I have no clue. I'm gonna apparently he wants me to call him again, but I'm like, I'm
I
also
don't
making
have-
cash, so I don't really care.
I don't have the
my bills
fucks
are paid,
to give
so-
to do this paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I fucking hate unemployment. It's not worth the hassle 90% of the time.
My dad is like on hold with them for like 2 hours sometimes.
Oh,
When
dude,
he
yeah.
gets laid
Oh,
off
30,
union
45
when-
minutes every fucking time
Yeah,
I call
dude,
him.
it's
every
rough.
time.
I still know the fucking music in my head.
Oh, I hate
Have
it.
it burnt in, sitting there like,
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah, dude, it's a core memory. Like I'll be on my deathbed and they'll be like, "Are there any last words, honey?" And I'll just be humming the song.
Oh, fuck,
humming
yeah.
the fucking whole music
Yeah.
for the union hall.
Yep.
Fuck. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, no. So
I thought that was my beer
damn.
still cracking. No, I heard the of the beer, and I heard a.
you're like, yo, just got
Marcus
some pressure in
It's
it.
just
Oh my
me.
god, damn.
This is weird.
Yeah, I was
Well,
like, wow.
So how's the trailer coming, bro, guy?
Well, you would know. You've been here.
Well,
conveniently,
yeah, but segueing.
So this weekend was when I officially decided I have to get started prepping my truck and trailer for Hangover Run. It's 2 months away, which sounds like a lot of time.
It's not.
It's not.
But when you work 6 10s and sometimes 7, it's like, oh yeah, it's like you have 1 day a week that's free.
Yeah.
And if you're waiting on anything, it ruins that day. So I'm just like, yeah, I probably have to start like right now. So I was going to So Sunday was my first day of starting on it.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up at like 11 because I was exhausted from working
Yeah.
14 days in a row or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I had worked last Sunday, so I had to push through.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 13 days on or whatever. Drag it into the shop, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna mount the marker lights, nice and easy. Look at it, and I'm like, nope, can't mark, can't mount them. Nope, can't be, nope, fuck. Because the original ones are mounted underneath the trailer on a little drop tab, which
are
is
horrible.
It's
Oh,
very
okay.
convenient. Do I have any pictures where they're
Yeah.
It's super nice because they just hang down, so you're not drilling into the frame or anything weird.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the ones on the back are bent flat. They are completely
Yep.
completely scraped flat. So I'm like, okay, fuck it.
Oh, is that the new marker light there then?
So I had already ordered these lights to mount. I was gonna mount them underneath, and I'm like, that's dumb. I'm not gonna put them there because they're bigger too. I'm like, so I had to go to town and buy a hole saw. We didn't have a 3-inch hole saw at the shop somehow. I don't know how.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh, Sunday. I'm like, I'll do this and that. And I start going. I'm like, I'm not doing this today. Fuck it. I'm like, I'll start Monday.
Yeah.
So
I'll
Monday,
do this tomorrow.
yeah, Monday after work, I drove in, bought a hole saw, and then I drilled one at all 4 corners for the marker lights. That was pretty easy. Parked it back outside. Tuesday, Marcus came over to help. We cut off the old marker lights because they were just welded tabs underneath it that were all fucking ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Cut those off and pulled all the wiring out because all the old wiring. So the wiring in the trailers ran in conduit that's welded to the frame.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, I didn't take a picture of it, so I'd show it. It's not conduit, it's pipe. So it is like 3/16 wall, like
Oh my God.
half-inch inside pipe. It's so dumb, you can't fit any wires through it, and it takes up so much space.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, well, this is retarded. So yesterday, which would have been Wednesday, we took and broke all of the conduit off there because it was all useless because we couldn't fit the wiring in there we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, half of it was useless.
Yeah.
We beefed up the outer protectant of these wires that we did,
Yeah.
so we couldn't
normal-
fit all 3 pairs of thick-walled wire
Mm-hmm.
through this piping.
So a normal trailer wire is a 4-wire trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And most people have probably seen it. It's just a generic, like, flat, wide cable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the stuff I bought because this has terrible protection from anything that would hit it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bought stuff that all 4 of those wires are in a big, like, sheath that protects them super well.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is the wire is thicker and it doesn't fit inside of the conduit once you add in, like, the brake wire and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is closer to what I bought. It's got a big, thick, hard
Nice.
coating on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll run. It's not as likely to get torn up bending around sharp corners
Yeah.
compared to the other stuff.
Plus, just it's not gonna get fucked up on just normal bouncing around, hitting
Yeah,
stuff.
the wires that were on
It's more
there,
resilient wiring.
the wires that were on there, half of them are like half torn up
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, and the way that all these lights were done was so shitty
it's so
because
dumb.
whoever did it ran all the wiring all the way to the back,
Mhm.
for example, and then as he turned on the left side to go to the right, each light he would put what are those
A butt
specific
connector
a butt
splice.
connector,
Yeah.
but he would feed 2 wires on one on the other,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how it was done for each one. Which
it
To
works.
just,
If-
to just continue the circuit.
if
yeah.
if you're looking at it from a a wire harness wiring kind of aspect, sure, yeah, that works great. But like, it's shitty butt connectors that are cheap, and they're just
It's just not.
you
the
could have
right
taken
way.
10 more minutes to make it 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
And
Which
that's-
is what we're doing.
Yeah, that's usually how me and Brian operate. When
Yeah.
it's like, well, I could do this and it'll be better. It's like, then let's just fucking do it because
Yeah.
I'm never gonna want to get up under here and fix this.
No, because once there's a steel deck welded to it, I'm not dealing with.
I'm
any of the
not
stuff
dealing with that
underneath.
shit.
It's gonna be such a pain.
Yeah, that reminds me. I need to remount my license plate, and then I
What
probably
license
need to put a
plate?
whole new. Well, yeah, the one I just got,
Okay.
the new one. I need to remount it. Probably just gonna put a whole new piece to mount my plate to, which also means remounting my license plate light, as well as look at the wiring on the very back of it because I have a couple lights out.
Yep.
So that's gonna, like, I get to deal with this headache. The
You have
one
to-
that you're gonna avoid is one I get to deal with soon.
Yeah. So what we're doing normally, it's one wire ran back and spliced a bunch of times.
Well, I have more trailer talk later.
No, we
so
can
you
talk about it. Yeah. So normally there's a wiring box at the front of the trailer where the wiring from the truck comes in and then it splits out to individual wires to run back. I'm running one at the front and one at the back. That way I can run 4 wires back there to bring my turn signals, marker, lights, and ground. Then at the back box, I run individual wires to each light instead of trying to splice it a bunch of times.
So much cleaner.
It'll be super nice. Everything's individually wired. So if you need to, I don't know, replace a light, it's not spliced to 3 other lights.
You don't have to completely rip apart the ass and wire harness to do it.
Yeah.
Plus, I, not to toot my own horn, did so much of a better job wiring that front box up than when we did your truck.
Well,
It's so much cleaner.
well, the truck was pretty compact space.
Yeah,
and
it was.
Each one of those lights on my red truck, we have the same 7-wire box set up on there. It's just a generic trailer 7-pin box, but for each of the rear lights, there's 3 connectors on each of them. So to run, let's see, there's 18 different wires that have to go into this box and get split up.
Yeah.
It's a mess. There's so much going on in there.
Understandable.
I kind of want to tear it all apart and do it over again, but then the other half of
fuck
me is
that.
like, I'm not doing
We're
it.
not touching
I'm
it.
not
It's a
doing
trail
it.
rig.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing it until they all go out, and
Yeah.
then we really have to redo it.
If the lights don't work, the third brake light still will work, so it's
Yeah.
fine. But it'll get a cage long before we fix
Oh,
wiring.
yeah.
And the wiring works. It's
It
just,
does.
It's just
I
not
could have
perfect.
spent a little bit more time, but
We
whatever.
didn't have time.
We didn't.
That's
we
true, yeah.
finished with what, 9 hours to spare before we left?
We painted it Thursday night. Friday we put the interior back in it. Saturday morning we left.
Yeah.
I mean there was no spare time
Yeah.
to do it any better. We did a good job.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not as nice as what this is
I
so
could have
far.
spent more time, but
It'll be okay.
eh,
So
it'll
he
be
did the
fine.
front half that goes to the truck because the one that was on there had been spliced like 3 different times.
Love that.
Like they cut it and then add a foot to it and then resplice it together.
Yeah, it was
Like,
nasty.
it's
Yeah.
so dumb when people do that. I don't understand.
So the only good part about this trailer ever was how beefy the frame was.
was
Yes.
the price
Yeah,
and the
and the
size of it.
price.
It's
Yeah.
exactly the right size I needed. The price was great. Everything other than that. And it's low, which is nice, but also a problem because with it being low, as you know, it scrapes on fucking everything. So I bought a set of trailer roller wheels
thank fuck.
to weld onto the back of it. So instead of scraping, it will essentially pick the trailer up and roll on them. So those will show up sometime next
Well,
week.
Get titanium and fucking put it on the bottom. What?
We're not
let
making
it
skid-
fucking
We're not making
spark
spark
up, dude.
skid
Fuck
pads
yeah.
on the trailer.
Let's go.
Yeah, till
You know how cool you'd be when there's a fucking shower of sparks, especially in a gas station. Oh, it'd be-
Oh yeah, that's
you're-
a great idea.
Oh, you're-
right over top of the tank
yeah. Do
fill.
like a 3-inch wide by fucking
Oh my
8 foot
God.
long.
Fucking
God.
titanium's
Titanium
expensive.
just-
Fuck
do you
that.
know how much that costs?
Oh, I don't even want to know.
it's gonna be so much, but still. So we bought a set of roller wheels to mount underneath it. That way it won't scrape everywhere, just most places.
Are you gonna weld those? Or you're gonna bolt them
Oh,
in?
I'm welding them on.
Okay.
They're made to be welded on.
Okay.
There's a bent plate with a bolt through it.
Okay,
Basically.
fair enough.
They're very simple, but they're like a little 2-inch roller, so those will help because every trailer we have scrapes.
Well, and especially that gas station right out of Badlands where we
Oh,
got gas last
You
time.
have no idea. When
That
Andy
was
and I went,
bad.
when Andy and I went to Missouri, there's a Casey's probably an hour from Trevor's house.
Yeah.
We destroyed their concrete.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it picked the trailer off the ground.
Oh shit!
Like the whole length of it.
Yeah,
from
I
how
don't.
hard it
I
hit
think the
back.
rear axle wasn't touching the ground
Not at
anymore.
all.
It was just it was teetered on like my hitch. The maybe a little like half the weight was on the front axle, and then all the rest of it was on the tail.
And with how-
being drug on the asphalt.
with how heavy your trailer and stuff is,
Yeah.
it fucking gouged the shit out of it. I did
them.
it the night before, and then the next day or the next time we came.
yeah,
back,
because you got in. You had to get fuel the next morning. Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to fill up at like 11 or like 10:58, and when they closed, so they turned the pumps off as we pulled up.
Yeah.
You
So-
bastards.
So I scraped the whole way out. I'm like, well, they're closed, can't do anything. We come back there on the way home and fill up again, and scrape the shit out of it again. So I'm like, man, trailer wheels be kind of nice. Keep
Yeah.
it off.
I
It'll at
told
least
you to go for them.
I did. I bought them.
Good.
I ordered some
Good.
today, and then so we rewired the front. You moved the breakaway harness a little bit to make it more convenient.
I cleaned up the wiring because it was shit.
The breakaway harness was so dumb. It like wrapped around a piece of steel, so all the wires were constantly crimped and then sliding up and down on a piece of steel. It's like those are gonna fail in the middle of the highway and lock the trailer brakes because
Yeah.
it thinks it disconnected.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's do everything nicer. So we
Sick.
pulled all the conduit off, doing 1-inch conduit that I'm deburring before I weld on there, so it'll actually
Yeah.
not cut the wire in half.
Yeah.
All thick coating wire so it won't rip in half. Yeah, you move the breakaway harness. I ordered the toolbox for it, and I'm like, oh fuck, did you move it into the way of the toolbox I'm gonna mount there? Because you moved it back like 6 or 8 inches.
No.
I went out and measured. It's fine. But I'm just
Okay,
like,
thank God.
I ordered it and I'm like, oh fuck.
Apparently, it's close though.
It's fine. I measured it's at like 23 inches. The toolbox is like 16 and a half.
Oh, okay. Thank
So once I
God.
add an inch and then some room around, it'll be
Like
fine.
there's only a self tapper holding
Yeah,
it
no,
in.
we
We
could
could just
move
take
it.
it out and move
But
it.
I'm just like, oh fuck, did we fuck that up? And I'm like, no, we're good. So
Thank God.
that was yesterday. We wired the front half and started running conduit. Tomorrow I'm gonna get the rest of the conduit ran and start running wire. But everything will be individually cabled and so much better. It's just I hate it when they fucking double splice stuff and just tie wires together and put them in one connector. It's just
Yeah.
not the right way to do
No.
stuff. So everything will be heat shrinked and actually put together in boxes. So
I'm excited. I love
Friday
a good
will
wire
be-
job.
Friday will be close to finishing wiring probably. At least the front half will be done. The back half maybe a little bit more work.
Oh, like I honestly think if I come over tomorrow and come help you out, we could have all the wire run, spliced, well,
Getting the wire
cut and ready to basically wire up the rear lights.
Yeah, getting wire to the back box will be easy.
Yeah.
'Cause that's just one straight run, and each one dips out for the brakes. That'll be easy. Once we're at the back, it's just individual strands to each
Yeah.
light, so it
It's
won't be
just
that bad.
figuring them out and getting them to somewhat look nice.
Yeah, it shouldn't be bad at all. After that, it's deck plate, which I already have.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that cut to size and like ready to go?
No,
Fuck.
I have 2 pieces that are 4x8 and 2 pieces that are 5x10. I need to. The 4x8, I just have to notch the fender, put it on there. The 5x10, I have to cut the whole length down and then notch the fender. So it'll take time, but it won't be too bad,
No.
really. So put those on, get those welded in. That won't be too bad. Get the grip on the fenders. I've already got that figured out. I just need to do it. They take a loading ramp that's got like the pushed up dimples to grab the tire
Mhm.
on it. I'll
Yeah, yeah.
Pull it up real
What do they
quick, but-
call that again? Not dimples. There's like an actual term for doing that in metal.
It's dimples.
It is
Dimple die.
Dimple die.
Oh.
But
Okay,
if
fuck
can
me. I
pull
guess I
this
was
up
wrong.
without too much fucking around. Yeah, that's where you buy the cheapest stuff from.
Yeah.
So many pop-ups. I do not care about your cookies. Don't look at my location, please. Okay. These guys, where they're just a like dimpled up and stamped down. Then it's
Mhm.
got grip that sticks up.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we made our ramps for our little black trailer. We took
Mhm.
these ramps and you cut the top of it off and then weld that down.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically adds a grip surface to whatever you're welding it to.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to do that for the fenders, build a little headache rack for the front, and then mount the toolbox. And that's really that, and then paint it. Well,
Mhm.
bed liner of the deck, and then paint all the stuff that we burnt off on the sides. Trying
Mm-hmm.
to do that, but slow and steady. We're getting there. It hopefully sometime next week that'll be mostly done.
And not to throw shade on anybody else, but,
But-
look at what we did last year.
we
Guys,
worked
try to
way
put
too hard last year.
We did, but we also, well, I shouldn't say we. You built,
We back half the truck in like
yeah,
70 days.
yeah.
Yeah.
When
Like,
guys
that's-
have a full rig that just needs like axles or something, and it's taking them in a year plus.
I'll call him out. Vance Bohannon.
I-
with his fucking J10 or J20.
So,
What about Trevor with his 44?
Yeah.
He's still building that, but
Yeah.
so we're
Yeah, no, Vance has axles, tires, suspension, engine. I think it runs. It might not run, but it has a fucking...
is it bolted in?
Yeah,
No.
it
Oh,
has
okay.
a Holly system on it. It's just a matter of like he has not finished it. I think
Okay.
it needed bed sides, which he has gotten now.
Yeah, you don't need
It took
those.
him 9 months to put bed sides on it because the bed he had was too nice to chop up, so he went out and found a
Okay,
shittier one.
that's
And I'm like,
fair.
it is a pretty rare truck, so I'm sure he'll get good money out of the good bed.
oh, sure.
But it's like it took you like a year and a half to make that decision, and then it took you 9 months to get that put
to
on the truck.
execute that. Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck.
So I think when we were bullshitting yesterday after we got back from running for parts,
Mhm.
we were like, from last year when we started last year, we were about a week behind.
Yeah, last year we started like a week before we did this year.
Yes, but we also aren't building the entire back half of a fucking truck.
No, we're building a whole trailer.
We're not building a whole trailer. We're redecking a trailer with.
We're
lighting.
fixing all the problems on the trailer.
Yeah.
But-
So
So what are your plans for the truck?
so the truck needs hydro for sure
Yep.
because it does not turn at all.
Yep.
turns like dick.
not even like dick.
So wasn't there something with the power steering?
It's
power
it's
steering.
Yeah,
ruined.
it'll be hydro assisted power steering.
Yeah,
You said. Oh, that's what you said. I
Yeah,
thought
it'll
you
have-
said something completely different.
Yeah.
no, it'll have a hydraulic cylinder on the steering axle to help it turn
Mm-hmm.
because it will not turn without it. Because it used to be okay. That pump then
Yeah.
shit all the liquid out of itself.
Well, no,
boiling.
you cooked it and
it-
then
yeah,
it's shit.
It boiled. It was unhappy.
Yeah, it was not loving life.
So I'm gonna see how far I get this weekend. If I'm close enough done to the trailer this weekend, I'll text Dave and see if he's ready to pull the stuff off that Ranger. Or
It
not.
is off. It is off the trailer from Core last year.
Holy fuck, that's a miracle.
It is inside.
So he might actually be like, able
Yeah, he
to-
is actually working on it now.
Holy, okay, that'll be awesome. I might
Yeah,
text him
it
this
is. It is
weekend.
currently inside. I believe that he was starting to figure out the frame, whether he's either patching it or doing full tube frame.
Oh, that's perfect.
So,
I'll text him
He,
sooner. rather
he
than
will
later.
have the motivation to take it off for you.
If it's already
if that's the
inside,
case.
even that's amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay, so I'll text him fucking this weekend, I guess, and
Mm-hmm.
just see where he's at with that. Because if that's it, then I'll buy his parts off him, have his box, his lines, and his cylinder without having to go and order all that
Yeah,
shit.
because I want to say,
And then
because he was at Badlands, I want to say he said something about going full hydro rather than.
He wanted to go
hydro
full
assist.
hydro on that rig anyway.
So it might already be off, or it will be very soon. So.
He's at least planning on taking it
Yeah,
off.
so if you can nudge him and say like, "Hey, if you can get off this weekend, I'll come down and pick it up."
Yeah, worst case scenario, be like, hey, I'll bring you my stock box so you can still turn this thing. So you're not stuck
It
with,
sounds like it's in the shop already, so he doesn't even need to.
which is even, if it comes to it, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of, because his is one of the last steering boxes made by PSC, which is the name in hydraulic steering.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to order one new, I'd have to get a redhead, which is okay.
It's second best.
People are like, it's hit and miss. You either get an amazing box or something
Mm-hmm.
with terrible tolerance. It's one or the other. And that might be people that don't know how to bleed a box, adjust a box,
Yeah,
anything in between. But I would much rather have the PSC stuff because that's the best.
Yeah.
Best I'm going to get for whatever it is,
Yep.
So I might as well text him this weekend, just see where he's at. If
Yeah,
he's like,
just give him like a mental heads up. Like,
Yeah.
hey, can I come get this
yeah.
yet?
That way he can be like, well, maybe not this weekend, but next, and
Yeah.
you can plan around that.
I'll be like, hey, whatever Sunday works for you, I'll stop and get it all. Pay
How
you
far
whatever.
away is he?
Peoria.
Oh,
Yeah.
Easy.
Super convenient. So I'll see where he's at. If we make that happen, yeah. Hydro needs to get done because it does not turn at all right now. Cooling needs to be upgraded. I'm probably going to switch to a big ass electric fan instead of the clutch driven fan that's on there because it sucks. 2, when you flex it, it hits the fan shroud because the engine's not mounted to the frame the same way the frame is mounted to the frame.
damn! I thought I trimmed that enough.
You did.
Just
But
not fully.
But
Now that I added the rear leaf back, it flexes more.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
And
Shit.
the front end will flex more than the rear now. Because the rear used to be,
Damn it.
when we built it the first time, the rear was so soft it wouldn't flex the front
Yeah.
axle. Now that there's another leaf back there, it'll flex the front now and it hits again. So the radiator might be fucking smashed. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it was,
look at
We'll
mine.
see.
it was running rather hot in Missouri. It was also hot in Missouri.
Yeah, it was fucking hot and dry for a long time.
So if it comes to it, I can skip doing that because it'll be cold-ish.
Yeah.
in Indiana. But
yeah,
I'd like to get a Taurus fan. It's like a 26-inch, very high flow fan. They pull like 70 amps on startup. They're ridiculous, but they'll move an absolute ass ton of air. So
yeah, perfect.
order one of those because it's a factory replacement fan. Then the control box for that is like $200, but it'll be, instead of it being a toggle switch on fan,
Yeah,
which gets so annoying because
it'll be a temp.
it'll be temp
temperature
based.
driven.
Yeah.
which is nice.
And it'll have a soft startup so it doesn't just like woo,
Yeah,
back
yeah,
and forth.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because there's
Oh,
not
maybe I can fix the your
a whirlybird.
your whirlybird switch.
Michael put a different switch in there. It works.
Oh,
now.
did he?
I think so.
Bastard.
Well, that switch that we put in there was garbage. But
Yeah, it was dog shit to begin with,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then it got stuck
We
on,
bought
and
a-
it took me an hour to.
we bought a
fucking fix
brand
it.
new switch and it fucking sucked the whole
Well,
time.
we bought the cheapest.
It was new.
It
and
was new.
garbage.
It was garbage.
It was the $3 switch that we bought.
yeah.
But
It was a switch of all time.
yes, it was one of the switches. So steering and cooling are my two biggest ones. If I get all that done, I'm gonna try to throw some bedsides on it, but I'm probably not gonna get all that done in time.
Don't you want to wait to get a cage on it before you do bedsides?
Yeah, because I can cut all that back off later. It looks weird without any bed on it
Yeah,
because it's so
fair.
short that you can't even see.
Steve did for how long with his Dodge?
Yes,
He just, all he has now is a plastic bed liner bolted to the frame. It is just a plastic like
I know.
upright and
Yeah.
bottom. That is it.
It sure is.
I noticed that the last time I saw that truck. I was like, what the actual fuck?
It used
That's
to
a
be-
great idea.
It works.
But it's like, what the fuck?
'Cause it used to be just a toolbox bolted there.
Yeah.
That was it. It was open frame, which
you
is
could
cool.
I'll say you could do a fucking. Oh, that's what Mark from it's a Patreon
okay.
guy.
Yeah.
Who none of us had ever met. He has a mud bog truck. It's an S10 with
Sure.
a like 383 or
They
some shit.
all are.
No, it's
yeah.
big dumb mud truck. It is fucking 10.5 feet tall. Like it's fucking
50
huge.
foot.
Oh
and stuff.
goddamn!
Yeah,
I
it's
mean a
fucking-
383 stroker.
Yeah,
It's a race motor.
Yeah, it's either like a 350 with a cam, something stupid. But anyway,
You got a
it's
cam
still
in her.
big dumb mud truck and 12 feet tall and
Yeah.
fucking.
Good for that
But
guy.
yeah, no bed, just toolbox
Toolbox.
mount on the frame behind the cab, which also has this fuel cell in it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
it's
fair
like,
enough.
the problem is the rear tires are exposed to the back window. So if
Yeah.
I spin it all, it's chucking shit at the back of the cab,
Fair
which
enough.
is less than ideal. So
The 10 in S10 stands for 10 foot tall.
You were right.
that is Bigfoot 10 with 10 feet tall tires. But no, I'm going to try to take the stock bed because it's kind of smashed up and it's rusty as shit anyway.
It's a good
I'm going to cut the
Comp
bed,
cut it.
yeah.
cut the bed sides off and just cut as much as I can to make it
Yeah.
kind of
Make it
fit.
look super aggressive and shit, but also at the same time you're just cutting the rust out of it.
Basically, I'm gonna make
Yeah.
it look like the nastiest Bronco on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not a Bronco.
Well, I think I want to say it's Dave's Ranger bed. It has the front arch, but then it's just from the wheel well, it goes straight back.
Mine already does that because it's rusted off from their back.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if you just
Yeah.
follow that
Yeah, I
wheel
need
well
to-
line
I
all
need
the
to
way
cut
back.
the wheel well way bigger anyway, and I'm just gonna take it and then it'll probably be about halfway through the wheel wells where it's cut.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm gonna try to match it to the bottom of the frame that I built because the frame comes back up and then over. So if I match that height difference,
Yeah.
it'll be still at the right angle, but it'll match where the frame goes, so it
I
doesn't stick
gotcha.
down or up. And I'll just bolt some shit to the bumper and make it.
We'll see.
Gotcha.
I think if me and Nick
Oh, it'll take
work
like,
on the fucking wiring side of shit while you're, I don't know, cutting your trailer shit.
that'll
If
be,
if
it'll
all
go
three of us get good, decent, intricate job, well, I mean, yeah, I'm slow with wiring, but I do it nice.
did more wiring yesterday than I did.
I know.
was too
So
busy
I don't
cutting
know.
fucking
Maybe if all
concepts.
three of us get together, we can get her done.
We can. It'll get her done. Most of it'll go pretty quick.
Yeah.
Nothing's really that hard. It's just
We're not doing
it.
full jobs. It's just, hey, let's clean this up.
Yeah, I'm
let's clean
basically just
that
gonna
up.
slap my back together and
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Yeah, fuck
'cause
it.
At this point, this is also gonna be the last time I have to care about these axles is hangover
Correct.
runs.
So we breaking shafts.
So
baby.
by the time hangover runs come around, I should technically have at least the front axle will hopefully I will buy it this weekend. Barnes four-wheel drive.com actually lowered their prices.
Really?
The truss I was gonna buy was $460. It's
much
now
is it now?
$332.
Oh yeah.
is it like a Black Friday sale that if you
No,
don't buy it right now-
This is they sent me an email. It's like we lowered prices site wide. I'm like,
Fuck yeah.
because all of their manufacturers and like suppliers and shit all cut their prices, so they are now too.
Yeah.
My
Good for
like
them.
the one truss was $470. It's $330 now.
That's
That is
awesome.
insane.
Yeah.
So
It's like I could cut one out of plate on the
150
plasma,
bucks?
but it's not gonna fit like that.
yeah, no,
A
not
factory-
this one. They've sold thousands of.
Exactly.
It's not worth
I
it.
also found a dude who left a review on it a couple months ago. He's a young kid from Indiana who has the exact same 3-link kit that I do,
Yep.
as well as this truss.
You're like
Because I was looking
Iron
at the
Rock
truss
Off-Road or
review.
whatever it
He's like, I have the Iron Rock Off-Road 3-link
Yep.
and this truss. It worked. It all fit very well. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
so I found him on Facebook and friended him.
You're like, hey,
I was
man.
like, dude, I friended him and sent a message at the same time. I'm like, hey, I have questions because I have the same kit and I don't have trust yet, but I want to see how well it worked. Because Dave was talking all crazy shit. He's like, all the angles and this. I'm like,
3 links are
I just need
garbage and-
tons under a shitbox Cherokee that I can go bounce off fucking trees.
Yeah.
And rocks and flip upside down and not care about.
Yeah, you're like,
I don't care about proper angle. I don't care about any of that shit.
Yeah, I'm
I just
trying
want
so
it on
hard.
tons and 40s so that I
It
can
just
get up
needs
better
to bolt
Yeah,
together.
I'm trying
Yeah.
so hard not to shatter these Dana axles on 35s.
Yeah. And also bounce up shit that should not be able to be even
Yeah.
thought about getting up on
Yeah,
35.
you should be nowhere
I'm
near
getting
it.
halfway up it, and I'm like, now I'm pissed because I can't get the rest of
Just
the
had
way.
more tire, it'd be more better.
Yeah.
Spend $900 a piece on some 40s.
No, I found I found a couple cheap
Woodies.
sets.
Yeah, that's.
But anyway, that's way down the line.
that's after January.
yeah.
I mean, you
but
might
yeah.
buy it before then, but that's after.
Axles will be bought. Maybe I'm hoping to get it trussed. I want to get the front axle bought and trussed before hangover.
shouldn't be too
maybe
bad.
acquire the rear axle too, because that's also another $250.
Right.
And then,
But none of that's really too bad to get done.
Yeah.
Because it's not underneath the Jeep trying to do
I
it.
did price out 538s for both of them,
Okay.
$1,600 or $1,700.
Ooh,
Wow.
It's not terrible.
that seems like a lot.
Well, considering I would also have to spend $600 some dollars. That's also with install kits too.
That
So
still
it
seems like a lot.
yeah, kind of.
But yeah.
But that was, or maybe it was 1,400. It wasn't crazy.
It does, like it shouldn't be that much. I mean,
No, sorry, 16. That was the order.
is that with a
number.
locker too?
No,
Or was it
hold
this guy right here, the $1,400 kit from Four Wheel
on.
Parts?
No.
I believe you that
No,
probably
sorry.
not
It
that
was
much.
the order number 1680. It was.
Oh yeah, see that's
actually
way different.
1467 was the price. So
Okay,
not
so
terrible. Yeah.
Still $1,400.
Here I'll give you the price. The front axle gears is 461. The install kit is 347.
Ooh, okay, that's where it comes.
The
in.
14 bolt gears are 370. The install kit is 450.
That seems like a
then
lot for the install.
That's
kit.
also including that final price was including a $163 10% off with TOP discount. So
Take it, yeah.
yeah,
You should
so
call Chris at Complete Off Road.
I did. That's who I called. I'm like, hey, give me a price on this. He's like, okay, this is this, and I'm like, well, shit.
You're
Like,
you're
I
damn.
either have to do that or I have to buy the $100 rear axle gears
And
from
then go to 456
from Bust a Knuckle, and then do 456 and then buy a whatchamacallit later on. So I'm
then,
like,
yeah.
I might just have to.
You might just
I might
do
just throw it
to
all
start
on
with.
credit and fucking get it done.
The one thing is you might have to change your diff carrier because I know
Thick cut. This is priced out for thick cuts. It's a
Yes.
373 carrier.
okay, but I know a lot of like on my
I'm welding
axle
Okay.
on my axle at 410
Mhm.
is the highest you can go on that carrier. The
Yes.
carrier is built differently
Yes.
for 410 and up.
Yes. This
Okay.
This one's the brake is 430. So
Okay, good.
410 and down, 456 or 430 up.
So are you planning on you're planning on buying a carrier then?
No, I'm planning to buy a thick cut gear.
Is that made for that
Yes,
carrier then?
a thick
Okay.
cut gear it compensates for the smaller
Gotcha.
carrier, and it just brings that gear closer to the pinion.
Gotcha. I knew there was a split, and I wasn't sure if you were
Yes,
swapping
yes.
carriers or if you
I-
were accounting
If I
for that.
grenade this setup, I might just buy it depending on
But you
if I
already-
can find a cheap
At
carrier.
that
and
point,
shit.
you already have the thick cut gear. You just
If
buy
I don't also grenade the gear, like if I grenade, my thought is I'm probably never gonna break this, and if
Yeah,
I
it can
do,
happen.
it'll probably take out the carrier as well.
You just put a
So I
spool-
might as well just
put a
like,
spool
whatever
in.
other shit I find out.
You just put a regular
thought
spool in
about
and it
that
won't
too.
break.
Yeah, no
but-
offense, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but you
Axles.
breaking things, yeah, maybe.
This is
Not on-
1-ton axles, so
not on
it's a
tons.
lot harder to break than my current setup.
I mean,
On a
that's-
ton, you break the outer shaft.
Yeah,
That's-
which also since
you
this
break
is
the
a
U-joint
since this
out
is a Super Duty 05 Plus, I can put the F550 shafts in,
Yep.
which has a 1550 U joint, which is
Humongous.
as big as my hat.
They're gigantic.
Dude,
I'm
Lord.
not kidding; they're fucking huge,
Well,
and,
Mark,
and the shafts
you
themselves
helped-
are bigger. as
You
well.
helped do the ones on my truck.
Mhm.
Mine are 1480s.
These are 1550s.
1550 is the next size up and cap up. They're
God
humongous.
damn.
They're huge.
Yeah.
big boy.
So yeah, yeah, they're large. But anyway, those are a factory shaft that I can get at any parts store, which is also nice.
Yeah,
and
it's
they're not chromoly shafts, but the fact that they're that if I break these factory small size, I can get the factory equivalent big size.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact you could go to a parts store and be like, hey, I need
Yeah.
this stock replacement part.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, yep, here it is.
Exactly.
That's nice.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
So this picture here is.
Oh, that's not even
I know.
not even a 15.
This is my drive shaft U joint, which is a 1350, which
Mm-hmm.
is considered a big joint, next to a 1480, which is my front axle steer joint. The 1550 is
Bigger.
It's
It's
this
that same difference, but
even bigger.
yeah,
They're gigantic.
So like double the size of yours.
of a 1350.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus
They're
fuck.
very big. That's impressive.
So yeah.
They do not break.
Wow.
And
That's
they-
why I'm going to the setup because I'm sick of even having to worry
Fixing
about
shit?
it.
Of
Yeah.
even thinking.
And I'm
about
sick of
it.
being on a small tire. Like realistically, because like I have the driver skill to get up shit, I just can't because of the tire size.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, no, it's nice to be able to have stock replacement parts.
Well, and I also
At a
get to the
parts
point
store.
of I'm tired of this. I'm just going to say fuck it and bulletproof this.
yeah.
So
Which yeah,
understandable.
in reality, this whole setup that I'm gonna do is not gonna be extremely expensive. I'll be in it
It's still budget.
probably $3,000 at
conscious.
most.
Yeah,
But
which
still,
that's
it's
what
not
stuff
bad.
costs anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
when you're done, you have a set of axles that are good for anything.
Yeah.
Whatever rig you build next, you could just put
Yeah.
them in there
Yeah.
and they will work.
I think I'm just gonna keep this as a raisin.
No, you probably
Just,
can.
just an absolute beat the
But
absolute fuck
if
out
for
of it
some
and call it good
reason
enough.
it, you know,
Yeah, no, yeah,
it
yeah,
burns down or something crazy, you're like,
Yep,
here
yep,
are
yep,
good axles. I'll put new seals in them. They're
Save
brand
the
new.
axles.
yeah. No, yeah, because after I trust it and everything, it will be good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
stupid. Beef.
At this point, the body is going to be the
wear item?
the wear item.
Yeah.
The body, engine, and transmission and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. If the worst you can do is break the panels and glass out of it, whatever.
Yeah.
It's already caged. It'll be on good axles.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you'll run out of drivetrain before you run out of anything else.
Yep. But yeah, so I have very little to do to it. The fuel pump is the biggest issue. I need to get it off my trailer right now.
Yeah.
After that, it'll be. There's a grill in Peoria I want to pick up for $50.
Right.
So at least I can put my other headlight back in it for hangover run. I don't care
yeah.
about the headlight bezels.
We just need light.
I just
because
need to
it's
put the
dark.
other headlight in it because it's dark.
Wheeling it dark is you need all the light.
After that, there's not a lot. I might start doing some shit to help on the ton setup because I might hack out the wheel wells and just start because I'm gonna have to do that for 40s anyway.
Oh,
so I might as
100%.
well, while it's on the 35s,
Start
get that all done
trimming
if
and-
I have time over the next. Well, it's only 2 months, I guess.
Yeah, it's
technically.
not that long away.
So I figured, yeah, I might as well. Damn, it does not feel like November. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it is November right now.
Yeah, I was like, I want to maybe try to help with that. If not, it's no big deal. It just kind of depends how much time I have. But right now I have more time than money, so I'm hoping after New Year's, by then I'll have worked
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'll have my vacation check coming in February. So I'm hoping to have it all wrapped up by, it sounds like, May.
Once it starts getting nice out again.
Yeah, and then like if I get back to a job or any other job, or once I work through and kind of am up on top of my bills again.
Yeah, once you figure out how broke
Yeah.
you're going to be this winter, it'll help you kind of
Yeah,
plan this.
I have my
out.
vacation check coming in February, which is $5,000.
You just got to make it there.
So
God damn.
yeah, so that'll be that's hopefully gonna pay off the Mustang as well as give me other cash.
Or get you out of crippling debt. One or the other.
Well, yeah, so,
Just invest in crypto.
yeah, okay.
yeah, they can make money.
I do want to invest in other things, which I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about this. So I was
Oh.
planning to buy a shed, probably not from you because I'm poor,
Oh.
but I wanted to buy a shed.
Again, remember, we do carports as well.
Yeah. Well, realistically, if I bought a shed, I wanted to spend like $1,000.
You're buying used.
And
then,
there
homie.
may be something that my mom can help you do. We
Yeah.
can talk
But
about
either
it
way,
later.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, maybe. And I search Facebook. I search it every day for sheds.
Yeah.
Here's
It's not great.
the shitty
And
part.
then I have to bring them to me.
Exactly.
shitty part
and
sucks.
which sucks even more right
I've even
now.
thought about finding a cheaper one and just cutting it in half and then rebuilding it at my house because I
build
only
your
have a
own.
little bit more in the lumber to rebuild
and
it.
then
but
you're
it's-
gonna have so many problems with it not sealing.
yeah. Well,
Spray-
realistically, it doesn't have to be great.
It doesn't
Well,
need a seal. It's just cold storage.
Still,
Um,
no, I mean like water seal.
Yeah, cold
But,
storage. It can get
yeah.
wet. Nothing. Everything that's going to go in there is already sitting outside.
I guess I don't
except,
know.
well, no, I was hoping to put the Mustang in it.
Yeah, I'd keep that in the garage.
I
Unless,
I want to work in the
that's
garage
fair.
and not have to worry again.
Put the Mustang in the house.
yeah, if only that
Take
was
out your-
Piece by
yeah.
piece.
Take out your living room window.
So my
back it
next
through.
my next thought process was, well, if I'm gonna spend, if I buy a nice shed, it'll be about $3,000, probably $3-4,000.
Sure.
Well, instead of having a shed that just sits there, how about I have a shed on wheels, aka an enclosed trailer? Because why the fuck not?
They're expensive, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that sounds a lot more expensive than a
No.
shed.
buy a shipping container.
Then it looks trashy.
No,
At least-
you can dress them fuckers up.
At least in an enclosed trailer, looks like it can go down the road, so it's not like it looks like it serves a purpose sitting there.
What do you think shipping containers do? They ship. They go
Yeah.
down the road all the time. Obermiller just bought one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
we bought it, painted it to match the building. It looks great.
Yeah, but either way,
You just have to if you put a nice gravel pad around it, make it look like it's supposed to be
yeah,
there.
I
For
know.
like $2,000, you can get a decent container.
Yeah, but I also have found probably a handful of nice or decent enclosed trailers for about $4,000 at most.
Right.
The one specifically I'm looking at it's $4,000. It's a gooseneck 30-footer. That's from 2002. It's actually half decent. And I'm like, why wouldn't I just buy that? Put the Mustang all the way at the front, and then if need be, I can put like the Harley in the back and the axles in the back, just to get them out of outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, if I put the Mustang in it, I get a whole half a bay of my 2-car
The
garage,
whole
which
garage
is
stall
huge,
back.
and I can still work in my garage this winter, which I want to do.
Yeah.
As well as I could just leave the motorcycle in there, which is why I figured at minimum I want to do at least a 16-foot car trailer, enclosed car trailer.
Though you could fit 2 things, or
Well, no, just fit the
car,
Mustang in there,
yeah.
minimum, and then I get the whole bay clear. And then I can put the 4-wheeler, which I'm gonna put a plow on, so I
Right.
can be able to plow my driveway this winter.
yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be a really shitty winter.
it's
That's
already
just-
cold. As
Yeah,
shit.
I personally
I've
feel
got
like it's
that
gonna be
gut
really
feeling.
bad. Like
that,
we've had a lot of easy winters the last couple years.
we're
I feel
due
like it's
for
gonna
a
be shit.
horrible
Yeah.
one.
So I want to get a plow built this winter, which I can find like lawnmower plows for $50
Yeah.
and just get some framing, no big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal.
But I want to have that parked in the garage that way I can just open the door, push it all out,
Mhm.
and then be done with
Yeah,
it.
drive from the inside out,
As well as
instead of
put
trying to scrape it.
put my lawnmower in the garage and put the Harley back in the corner.
yeah,
That way it's not in the way of anything anymore.
Get yourself as much room back as you can.
Yeah, because I also have my little lean-to on the back of my garage where my lawnmower is, and that's starting to get really full of shit. But that's more like my spare lumber and my grind and my
That's
bench grinder and my
long
drill
storage,
press and
outsource stuff.
yeah, that's literally just cold storage, which is fine.
Right.
But the garage I want to have more working area in,
Yeah.
and that's my big thing. So I'm like, again, I was like, if I spend any money, I realistically need to fucking build a garage, which hopefully by this winter I'll have figured out. But in the meantime, I'm like, if I'm gonna spend any money to try to free up some space right now, I thought about it. I'm like, even if I do build a big garage, I probably still would keep that shed. But I'm like, if I do buy a nice enough shed to keep, then why not just buy an enclosed trailer that I will then be able to
that
use?
you can
Yeah.
use.
And
for
other
stuff.
people love enclosed trailers, like motorcycle people, which I'd put, a chalk in there and shit,
Yeah.
just because
You
I
can-
can also try to use it for other things. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a useful thing.
yeah, exactly. So
Interesting.
that's kind of been my thought. That was my thought as of today. I'm like, why don't I just fucking try to find a cheap trailer? Which a cheap enclosed trailer does not really exist.
Yeah, that's an oxymoron. That
So
doesn't
yeah,
really-
realistically, it's anywhere from like $3 to $5 I'll spend. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's if I'm gonna keep it, I might as well have decent.
And
So.
worst comes to worst, you just put the Cobra in a storage building over the winter.
The problem is I want it at least close to home. That way, if I do get motivation, I can at least throw the throwout bearing in it to where I can drive it to the storage building.
Right.
Because right now, if I do put it in storage, I'm not going to think about it till spring, and I'll be like, now
And
I have this piece of shit I got to work
and
on.
even then, yeah, you'll be like, it's over there and not my problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. So that's kind of what I'm trying not to do.
Yeah.
So
I could see it either both
at least if I
ways.
see the trailer in my yard every day, I'll be like, I need to fucking get the
You're like-
Mustang out and like once the Jeep's done, essentially. Or I'm also thinking maybe I can get that done in this,
Like
November.
before.
Because the throwout bearing, if it is only the throwout bearing, it should be fucking cheap.
Yeah.
At the very least, I will replace that because Cobras are known to give those out
Yeah.
or to
Yeah,
kill
you
them.
need throwout bearing and plugs. Like it's not.
I did plugs already.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, at the very least, to drive it to a storage unit,
You want to
like,
get that done.
it needs a
first.
throwout bearing, or the clutch exploded itself, and
Eh.
I need to get that ordered,
It'd
or
be it'd be pretty clear.
I
if
need
it
to
was
get that
fucked.
figured out.
Yeah.
So,
Fair enough.
but yeah,
Fun.
so that's kind of that was my thought as of today. So
Cool.
I also thought about maybe just getting rid of my current trailer,
Yeah.
and then
Because you kind of
like,
wanted to goose
basically
back like 30 some
Yeah.
foot anyway.
basically trade my current trailer for a decent, like a nice enclosed trailer,
Okay.
and then outright buy an enclosed trailer, which I think Brendan wants to sell his 32 or 36-foot load trail,
Okay.
which is only a 2-axle, so it's only 14K.
Which
But
is
I don't overload. I've never overloaded my trailer.
no, but when
So
you've
if I
got
only
that
have
much room, you might be like, I'll just put 2 trucks on here. It's like, well,
Yeah.
you're real close to the end.
Yeah,
You know, by the
so
time
I'm
you get
kind
to
of
that-
up in the air on that.
Or you put an
so.
8,000-pound truck on it and it
Mhm.
already weighs 6,000 pounds. Like you're already there without.
Yeah,
You'll get to 14,000 a lot easier than you
yeah,
think.
or it might be like a 18. I need to
It's
ask
probably
him more about it.
2,000 Ks, unless it's 10.5 axles, which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure, but I kind of want to ask. He got into it cheap, so he's gonna sell it. Especially to me, he'd sell it cheap.
exactly
So like 7K for that. If I get 6,500 out of mine, it's probably likely or
pretty
close to.
pretty likely.
And then I'd have I would just get that enclosed trailer, be 6,500. So
Yeah, something
kind
like
of
that.
in that ballpark. But like I said, I've only thought about that for the last couple hours. But
Yeah, you've just been kind of
kind of what I'm thinking about. So
cool.
Fun.
Decent.
yeah.
Nick, didn't you have an update about some things?
Yeah, besides feeling like shit for 2 weeks.
Join the club.
That sucked. But no, glad to be alive after all that. That was
A
I
fucking-
don't know what the fuck it was, but it was terrible.
After being dead for
Well,
2
and
weeks.
you know the funny thing is like I haven't felt a full 100% in a little bit, and like some people at work are like,
There's just sicknesses
it's.
around.
shit
I
happens
think
around.
what really
Weather
happened.
change.
Yes, it was. Hey, we're gonna go from 65-ish weather to fuck you. It's 32 out.
Yeah.
and I
and
think
then,
That's
and then
like right
after
when it
that, it was
started.
85 on that Saturday.
Yeah,
and
so
then it went back to like
I think we're just in that
regular.
weird stage. And
Yeah.
Plus-
again, I am totally with you. I think we're going to have a shit-filled, cold, snowy, icy
Yeah.
winter.
Well, that cold snap took all the leaves off all the trees
Yes.
at once.
Yes.
Like all of a sudden, everywhere's leaves.
Yeah.
Like, all that pollen's kicked up.
yeah.
Everything.
So I think we're just kind of in that weird phase of
Pre-winter,
it's the cold has happened.
premature snow stormulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seasonal affective disorder, aka SAD.
Cringe. Just feel better. Duh.
Yes.
Maybe I'm just depressed. I don't know.
Seasonal depression is real.
Hate it.
But yeah,
But
glad you're back.
yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Hell yeah.
Was it? Yeah, when I was sick, like for the one day on Thursday,
Last
Friday,
week.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was okay.
Convenient.
Yeah, convenient, of course.
Playing hooky.
Well, but then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I went
Went
right back to whatever the
right
fuck
back
I had.
down the shitter.
Just like my life, for real, for real.
Oh, God.
Honestly.
Hey,
2 weeks.
You bought a Subaru. Own it.
God damn it.
2 weeks ago, Caitlin and I went to a animal shelter in the Chicago area, and we rescued Bonita.
Bonita.
Yes.
She's a 2 or 3-year-old lion head rabbit.
I'm so sorry,
doesn't
but
look like a lion.
that picture right there just looks like a middle school, like our high school age emo.
Yes. Oh yeah. No.
Hey.
Every time I see her, I go, "Cause tonight will be the night."
That's because she's a teenage dirtbag.
Yeah.
It's not just a phase; it's a lifestyle, mom.
Or I'll sing some other dashboard confessional song.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah. Her foster family said she's been great. They wanted to keep her originally, but they already have 5 other rabbits.
Jesus Christ. You know, that reminds me of like the videos on TikTok that I see of like people opening a shed and it's like 3-layered tier condos for guinea pigs.
For guinea pigs, yeah.
It's like, oh
Mason's
my God.
cavies. He's
He
like
knows.
one of those.
God
Yeah.
damn, like I get it, but
Have you seen a lady
damn.
with like 8 dachshunds?
Dawson's?
Dachshunds?
No.
The little wiener dogs.
Oh, those winter dogs.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
yeah, yeah.
there's a girl who pops up on my like reels every now and again. It's just all the time.
Oh.
Like,
So
I'm
much
telling,
wiener.
like,
I was just about to say, what a
she loves
slut.
wiener.
No,
I tell ya.
Caitlin showed me that.
Yeah,
She's
dude.
got some good videos though.
Oh yeah, they are like they dressed up as like the spooky ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
The little theme that went around.
Yeah.
But all 8 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 8. I think there's 8 wiener dogs, and then like one
One
fucking
just not.
Frenchie or some shit.
Yeah, there's like a
one
one
oddball.
odd-
I'm
One
like,
of
what
these
the fuck?
things
How does
is
that
not
work?
like the other.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, what the
Day
fuck is that?
300. They
Is that
have
what
not
I know who you're talking about though. I do like her
Yeah.
content.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll say it pops up for good reason, but
Yeah, the foster family already has 5 permanent ones. But personality, like you 3 met Gizmo.
oh yeah.
You know,
He's a little
He's a little
asshole.
shy boy.
yes, complete opposite this one.
Yeah,
Well,
this,
that's nice.
Like the moment I walk in from like on my lunch break when I get back home or back home from work, immediately she like hops right up to me.
hops up to the
so
door.
full integration now.
Those 2 together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice,
They
nice.
they get along really.
Wow, that's really good. How many days did that take? Like 3, 4?
Like I want to say like 6 or 7.
That's not. I mean, you want
But
to
we also didn't start. We also didn't start bonding them immediately too. We wanted her
Yeah.
to get used to the house first,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
That's-
and we wanted to see them first. We wanted them to see each other through the fence first.
Yes.
to see how that was going to react first.
But again, from getting her home to fully integrated into the household, how many days?
Like 7?
Oh, like from the moment we got her. Like
Yes.
maybe 10.
That's
10 or
pretty
11.
fucking
That's still
good.
not that bad for them to
It was-
actually get along.
It was pretty good. Yeah, we did get really lucky. The first few meetings, it was it was
A little rough.
it was Gizmo defending his house. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, if he was a rabbit, if we were rabbits and we all of a sudden got a new one in here after being the lone rabbit for a year and a half, he's like, well, who the fuck is this?
That's
like
what
get
it's
out of
like.
my house,
Bro, square up.
That's
Yeah.
what it's like when you come back after 2 weeks of being gone.
Yeah, sorry.
Square up.
Bonking each other in the nose.
And then it was one of the nights where they both worked together to bring the fence down.
What a bunch of dicks.
But they got along.
They are chaos.
As long as they both don't start eating the drywall, I guess you're okay.
She has no interest in chewing anything, and the foster
Thank
family
God.
said that.
Thank God.
Like I
Christ.
purposely wave like an old cable I don't give a shit about like in front of her and be like,
USB.
hey, eat the spicy hay, and
yeah.
she
Try it.
she just like rubs her chin on it like how cats do. Like
Yeah.
they rub on your like she just rubbed her chin on it and it was just like I don't care about this.
Don't give
She's like, what are you doing? Like, this
Give me
is-
something actual.
I'm trying to think. She's really not much of a chewer.
no.
Yeah,
Well, that's
that's good. Maybe she'll introduce
she-
some good habits.
She likes. I mean, she likes to steal one of Caitlin's shoes again, but I think it's the material that Hey Dudes.
I think
uses
Gizmo
in
does
them.
that too. Doesn't he?
Gizmo is terrible with any shoes.
He'll just take them.
He will like the new thing is he chews my leather shoes. Like, brother, you're eating one of your own kind.
What a dick.
My guy, stop it, please.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they
Good.
get along really well.
That's awesome.
It's really nice seeing them get along and how they interact with two rabbits in the house. It's just special.
Hell yeah.
The only thing, she's kind of an asshole.
Hell yeah.
So
And
She's
there
an
it
emo,
is.
Duh.
She fits in.
So with
She has
rabbit,
temperament issues.
one of the things with rabbits when they're bonded is they groom each other.
Mhm.
Now Gizmo
So do
will
YouTubers.
Gizmo will spend
Jesus,
Christ.
Epstein joke inserted here.
Gizmo will spend like 20-30 minutes just like cleaning over Bonita. Like he is
Bonita.
head over heels for Bonita.
What a guy.
Now
What a dude.
when it's Gizmo's turn, like so when rabbits signal that they want to be groomed, then they'll like bow down. They'll kind of like give them a little nudge with their head,
Mhm.
and Bonita will just sit there and look at them like
Get
you are.
fucked.
Yeah, like you are underneath me. You're not getting groomed.
What you're saying is he's a simp.
Pretty much, yeah. And I feel bad for him because like when she
Bro,
hops,
stop simping.
because like when she hops away, like I could see Gizmo. He's upset by it.
He's just like, damn.
And just like, oh. So what I've been doing, because the rabbit subreddit said to try this.
Said start licking the rabbit.
Simulate it. Get
Yeah.
your finger wet a little bit and just rub their forehead, and it'll be the same.
It'll,
thing.
it'll
And
think
he
it's the same.
and
Oh,
he's
so it's like
reacted
a-
very well.
So it's like a wet toothbrush to cats.
Kinda.
Same thing.
So
yeah.
wait, why are you doing that? Like,
Because Bonita isn't.
because Benita's not, and
She's
he
being a dick about
Yeah.
it.
It's like a social thing.
it's a social.
If he doesn't
so
like,
yeah,
he could
but
like get
I'm like,
depressed.
yeah, I'm thinking like
Well, here,
role wise.
let's
It's
put it-
like you're
put it-
helping Gizmo, not Bonita. You're not helping Bonita
right.
do it. You're helping Gizmo be like,
Put it-
oh no, she loves you, bro. I
Yes.
swear.
Put it this
Yeah.
way. It's like, you know how dogs smell butts?
Mm-hmm.
Gizmo is sniffing her butt, but she's not sniffing his. So
Yes.
Nick is sniffing his butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying. I was like, okay, yeah, you're not helping the fact that Bonita's still a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's helping
Alright, cool.
Gizmo
Now-
feel better.
There's times where I will see her do it for like maybe 10 seconds, but like it's not as long as what Gizmo does.
Just
for her.
absolutely cannot
Well,
be
she's a
bothered.
little hoe. She's been out in the world. She was with 5 other people. Fuck.
That's
Tell you
fair,
what,
actually.
fair.
Yeah.
She from the streets.
Yeah, she's from the
But-
street.
And,
How dare
and, well,
you.
and
She's
he's
a
just
nice
looking.
lady.
He would look, upset, and rabbits can get
Yeah.
depressed if they don't get groomed back.
Well,
So
and
I-
I'm sure
I-
they'll.
And if
they'll
and if a
equal
rabbit
each
gets
other.
depressed, then that's a whole other thing you got to work around.
Rabbit
So.
side.
Damn, sounds like we're having stew.
Kermit.
But at night, like they snuggle up with each other and everything. So
Aw.
like
They're all good.
they get along.
Oh,
I
wait,
think they're
don't-
They're in that little house together.
yeah. So there's like that little second story that
Mhm.
he doesn't use. She claimed that part.
Oh, sick.
Nice.
I love that.
It works out.
The
She'll get up
duplex
there at
do
night
be
and-
duplex.
So are you gonna have to
and-
get a bigger plan for the both of them? I mean, since they are free range during the day, it's not a big deal. But I didn't know.
We plan to get rid of that house completely just because he destroyed the shit out of it already.
Yeah.
Correct.
chewing on the drywall.
Yeah. We're thinking of just doing kind of like an open floor plan, like keep that area like their section.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to separate some cables with like an X pen or something. But
Do you care to share with the class,
I'm
Marcus?
sorry, but that was just too funny.
what?
The open concept.
We're gonna get an open concept rabbit house.
It's a postmodern
Yeah.
minimalist setup. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was funny. I very much enjoyed that.
You weren't expecting the official term.
Yes.
I don't know how else to describe.
No, that's
No, I get what you're saying, but fuck, that was
Well,
funny.
it's not like rabbits can open doors. It kind of has to be open.
Yeah.
Open concept.
Closed
you tell me.
concept.
They're getting a studio together.
he just sitting there. Bulk.
I mean, Gizmo's current house is pretty much.
Yeah.
No, that'd be Napoleon.
It's a studio with a loft.
yeah, the loft
Yeah.
he doesn't use.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, say
Napoleon's
Napoleon
would be
has
like
the
a
studio.
yeah.
It's all to himself.
That's a-
Napoleon's got a sick cage.
That's a
Oh yeah.
bachelor pad.
Oh yeah. I'll say it is pretty. Like it's very roomy for him.
he's living the life for being the only guinea pig.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no,
They're
I
getting
think they're just working some things out still. But they
Well, and it
they,
still
they
takes
show
time.
that they get along.
Yeah, it's been the first 2 weeks or whatever. They're
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
If anything, getting Bonita has made Gizmo a little more social.
Good.
Like he doesn't like to run away when I go to pet him now.
It's kind of helped. Like he sees that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's fine if they're.
Yes.
It's
hanging out
opened
there.
him up.
I think he also learned that he can use his back legs to jump up on things now because
He
he
watched
sees
her do
Bonita jump up on stuff, and now he will.
because he doesn't see you guys jump up on top of
Yeah.
stuff. So he's
Yeah.
like, this doesn't make any sense.
Like now, the new thing this dickhead likes to do, and he did it this morning, is he. Have you seen my nightstand?
no.
No.
Okay, so it's got like a drawer. There's like a little open
Little-
shelf kind of thing, like an open
Yeah.
nook, and then
Mhm.
you got like the top part of it.
Sure.
In the little nook, I have the passport from our trip because I didn't put it back in my safe,
Gotta do that.
Some other stray cable that I don't remember ever having, and I don't care about it. But what the fucker likes to do is he likes to jump up in that nook where he barely fits, squeezes in it, and he's not eating the passport, but he likes to just carry it in his mouth.
Just like the feet
What a
wet.
dick.
Because I guess Caitlin said I was still asleep, and Gizmo grabbed my passport and was just dragging it around the house in the middle of the night.
What's
not
that
chewing
episode-
it, not doing anything. He just thought it was a toy.
What's that episode of New Girl where Nick shreds his passport and they try to go through Mexican customs and the border patrol goes, "What the fuck is this?" He's like, "I'm a U.S. citizen. I just want to fucking go home."
Haven't seen New Girl. Can't
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
That's gonna
I don't
be.
remember
That's
that
gonna
much,
be
sorry.
me with the rabbit. Yeah,
I just saw a meme of it the other day. It's the only reason why I remember.
Fair enough.
But-
Cool. So it
Well,
sounds like
that's
it's going,
great.
Yeah,
going pretty
it's,
good.
it's going great.
At
I'm
least
excited
you're not
for you.
fighting like my cats were
No,
last night.
I'm excited for you 3 the meter when you can.
Hell yeah.
She's really good.
Sick.
Yeah,
Well, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
It's
it's
been
been
long enough.
9.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's 9.
I think our podcasts have usually been like an hour 20, hour and a half.
Hour
40.
30 hours.
And what are we at right now?
Well, depends how much I have to cut
This
out of
is at
this.
least
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
makes
we
sense.
only had like 3 minutes off, so
2 minutes 8, right?
Ooh,
2 hours 8
that's
minutes.
all right.
2 hours.
love
We
that.
did a long one.
We don't know that.
The
I might-
gang
welcome.
finally back
I might
together,
cut the
Fine.
whole thing out. It was all terrible.
like always.
Just delete the channel. You can't
Oh
stop me.
shit! Bye, Joanne.
Whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Marcus pissed his pants in the picture.
God damn it.
Bye.
Bye.